in the rain on a Friday night. It's appropriate that it's a high school football game because, I tell you, like a lot of the movies you've seen where they've depicted high school football, this is the kind of weather you get in those kind of movies. I think back to, what was that, the Tom Cruise movie.
All the Right Moves.
Yeah, All the Right Moves. I mean, this looks like one of those kind of games. And again, it's the Grizzlies and Mustangs, two rivals, as it should be, I guess, on a night like this, because, you know, maybe if it was a couple of lesser teams, maybe not that many would show up. But the faithful are here with umbrellas in hand, and we're included among that group. Hi, everybody. Al Lewis with Mike Hansen. We're now joined by the Valley Channel, cable channel 36, for coverage of tonight's matchup between the Mustangs and Grizzlies. This is the 11th time they have played over the years. And again, Logan has won 7, Mountain Crest 3. Logan had a shocking victory against Mountain Crest a season ago. It looks like Mountain Crest will be on offense to start the game. That's our guess, right, Mike?
It looked like Logan had won the toss and that they had deferred, so my guess is Mountain Crest will probably be on offense first.
Okay, let's introduce then the Mustang offensive team. Their center is Brian Schaefer, 6'2", 225, and a senior. The left guard is Mike Barchi, 6'1", 200 pounds, and a senior. The left tackle is Adam Buse, 6'2", 220 pounds, and a senior. The right guard is Doug Berry, 6 feet, 175, a senior, one of their captains. And then the tackle is Joe Norman, I believe, is the other tackle. Joe Norman at 5'9", 200 pounds, and a junior. The tight end is Adam Stiles. Stiles, a 6'1", 190-pound senior, one of the real favorite targets of Matt Rudd. Now it looks like Logan's going to get the football to start the game.
Well, they faked me out.
Okay, we'll give you the Mountain Crest offense anyhow. Brooke Jones, the wide receiver, number 87. He's 6 feet, 165, and a senior. And then Mike Baldwin at 6'2", 155, and a senior. We'll also see a lot of Jason Priest, Neil Obrey, David Randall, Jeremiah Dersch playing out there. The fullback is Greg Cook, 5'10", 155 pounds, and a junior. The halfback is David Roundy. Roundy is 5'9", 162, and a senior. And the quarterback is Matt Rudd, 6'3", 175, and a senior. Looks like Logan's offense will be on the field first, so let's introduce Logan's offense. The offensive line, Ryan Mang at center. He's a 5'7", 170-pound senior. The other guard is Dave Beathers, 5'11", 180, a senior. And the other guard is Rick Sampson, 6'1", 190, a senior. The tackles are Dave Peacock, 6'2", 275, and a junior. And then the starter at the other tackle is Dan Holmes, 6'1", 205, and a senior. The tight end is Rick Hansen, 6'2", 165, a senior. And then the fullback, Tony Guerrero. Guerrero is 5'9", 180, a senior. There's the kickoff by Stiles, and it's towards Anderson. Anderson has it at the 14-yard line to the 20, middle of the field, 25, 30, and he backs across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And Webb is downfield to upend him, and also in on the play was Brett Allen. So it looks like the Mustangs will start to play defense, and the Grizzlies will be at offense with the sophomore, Jared Johnson. Johnson, 6'1", 165. This is his second start of the season. Again, from the 33-yard line, so that's a 19-yard run back by Mike Anderson. Logan will start with a one-back set, and Anderson goes out to a slot to the left side. Outside of him is Larson. To this side is Thompson. We'll see a lot of Thornley at wide receiver tonight. In motion comes Larson on first down. Dropping back Johnson. Blitzed. He's hit. He throws, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted by Bindrup. Nice job by the line. Immediately it was Painter who got in there and got a hand on him and starting to pull him down. And then also Ryan Ross got in on the play, but it's an incomplete pass, but that shows you a little bit of Johnson's strength.
Johnson stood there with Painter hanging all over him. Painter came in from the right side of the defensive front, got right over the running back and tried to throw a block, and Johnson just stood his ground and threw the ball away. It went incomplete, but it was good pressure again by the Mountain Crest defensive line.
So the Grizzlies now faced with a second down. Dunn is now in the game as a wide receiver to the right. Thompson goes to the slot, and they go to an I formation on 2nd and 10. Again, Mountain Crest has their two linebackers right at the line. They pitch the ball to the right side to Anderson. He's hit. He slips away, and he slipped on the cut. Going around end, he fell down at the 35-yard line. The closest tackler to him was Boyd Cook. Cook is one of the inside linebackers for Mountain Crest. It's a 2-yard run to the 35. It might have been a little bit more if he wouldn't have slipped. 3rd down, 8.
Well, as we interviewed with Dave Beathers in the pregame show, he mentioned that Logan wanted to go to the outside, and Anderson, once he gets outside, shows good speed. I was out on the field a little bit earlier, and it was muddy right on the hash marks and right about the middle of the field where the Grizzlies have the ball now, and with this rain, that's just made it a little bit worse.
Here's an obvious passing down and trips receivers to the left for Logan. And here's Johnson semi-rolling out left to throw the ball across his body, and it's low, incomplete. It would not have been up for a first down. It was intended for Scott Larson. Webb on the coverage for the Mustangs. And the first punt coming up of the night for Nate Dunn. He did not have a good punting game last year. His average on the year, though, continues to be around 37 yards a kick. Going back is Greg Cook.
We noticed that Arash Malik had gone out for a pass pattern. He went up the field with, and he has an injured ankle. It looked like he re-injured that ankle as he left the field. He didn't put any weight on it as he went to the sideline.
He practiced a little this week, but still looked a little gimpy. Now here's Dunn to punt. And Cook, oh, it went right through Dunn's hands. He goes back and gets it. Now he's still got time to kick it, and he does. It's up the field. It takes a little bit of a Logan bounce. It's not going to be a great kick at all. Mount Crest going to have great field position at the 49-yard line. It's a 13-yard punt, but considering what could have happened, it could have been worse. But the Mustangs will start at the Logan 48 with their first possession. And as we told you, their quarterback, we were giving you their offense. Their quarterback's Matt Rudd, 6'3", 175 senior. Hit on about 40% of his passes this year. Kind of throws it sidearm. Last year, the starting running backs against Logan were Ross and Roundy, and now it's Roundy and Cook that start in split backs for the Mustangs. Got Jones to this side, and outside of him, Baldwin. Fake it, roll the... no, they did go inside, and he's still on his feet, and Roundy is tackled by the free safety. No, it was the cornerback, Sedgwick, who made the tackle. I thought he was running the option. Good fake by Matt Rudd, and it was Roundy who runs the ball to the Logan, 35-yard line for a first down. 13-yard run.
They like to do a lot of things with their offense. They shift around a lot. They use multiple formations with Mountain Crest's offense. That time, they just go down the line of scrimmage and hand off to Roundy right up the middle for the big game.
Okay, now another wide receiver is into the game. David Randall, he's out to the left side. First down play from the 35 of the Grizzlies. Long count by Rudd. He again tries to go inside, and this time Logan stopped the play. It was Danny Holmes who wrapped him up. And then also helping out was the Logan linebacker, McLeod, who gets up out of it. Logan defensively is Sampson, Peacock, Bracken, and Holmes up front. Guerrero and Bunch the outside linebackers. McLeod and James the inside linebackers. On the corners, I think, starting tonight, let's see if it's Sedgwick and Saunders. Yes, and the free safety is Thornley. No gain on the play. Ball still at the 35-yard line, so no gain on that play for Roundy. Now a second down play. Rudd has him at the line, only one back set this time. They have a wing out here to the left. Rudd fakes, rolls out left side, throws the ball across his body, and it's incomplete. In fact, Saunders was the closest to it coming over. Also, I don't know if he was really throwing for Stiles or for Obrey. He might have underthrew Obrey or overthrown Stiles or let him too much. It's now 3rd down and 10 on the incompletion.
A lot of substitutions now for Mountain Crest. They have a little bit of a situational type of substitution with their offense. They do a lot of different formations, as I mentioned. They bring in different people for different situations. Now they got a 3rd and long. This is where Mountain Crest likes to look to their tight end. They look to a little tight end screen across the middle or something out of the backfield to their running back.
They like draw plays, too. And last week, draw plays killed Logan. And there's the draw play. And here comes Cook, and he's hemmed in behind the line of scrimmage by Mark James, Logan's linebacker, who gets him. So we called that one. They like the draw, and they run it and lose 4 back to the 39-yard line. So now it'll be 4th down. Will Dan Cox try to punt Logan back deep into their own territory? Probably so. Thornley, in fact, is deployed to the 5-yard line, and Dave Thornley better not catch the ball when it's, or Mark Thornley better not catch it if it's down that deep. Rudd's the punter. He doesn't kick it far, sometimes does kick it high. There's the snap back to Matt Rudd, big kid, and he kicks it high and deep. It goes towards the sidelines, it bounces, and then it goes into the end zone just barely. He almost coffin cornered that one. So it's a 39-yard punt, but the ball will come out to the 20-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10. The Grizzlies will have it for the second time. No score. 8:27 to play. Our game broadcast tonight, we're going to test out a cellular phone, if it will work inside a baggie. We're going to see that from Rocky Mountain Cellular and U.S. West Cellular, and so far things are okay. It's really driving now, the rain is, and the wind's starting to blow. They were forecasting canyon winds. That's just what we need now with a driving rainstorm. So Logan on offense for the second time. Jared Johnson back out at quarterback, the sophomore. The only running back is Anderson on the offset eye, and now he's got Guerrero coming in motion to this side of the field, and he gives it Anderson off tackle, and Anderson gets just back to the 20, and that's all. He got upended by Tyler Olson, and so the tackle for Olson, they're going to mark Anderson still right at the 20, no gain.
Tyler Olson made good penetration. There's a big hole there, and he just reaches out with his left hand and pulls Anderson down. If Anderson gets through that tackle, he had a big gain, but good job by Tyler Olson there.
Second down and 10 play for Logan. Another one of our game sponsors besides Rocky Mountain Cellular is Taco Time, now in Smithfield and Logan. Of course, always great food. Anytime is the right time for taco time. Mountain Crest shifting their line a bit on this play as Logan goes to trips receivers on 2nd down and 10. Roll out left by Johnson. He's got open running room. He stops and runs. And he gets upended as he gets to the 25, and I mean literally upended. Head over heels he goes, and it's Webb who made the tackle on him, but it's a 5-yard run by Jared Johnson on the scramble. It'll be 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
Webb's about 6 feet, 175, and he does a good job in the open field. Anderson breaks it to the outside on the planned rollout to the left. Good job of keeping the defensive pressure of Preston Painter off by the offensive line. You could really see how he was struggling to maintain his footing as he tried to make the move, and Webb was able to size him up for the big hit.
He consciously just planted his footing to make that cut-up field. Split backs, 3rd down and 5. No score, Logan's second possession. They're at their own 25. Long count, and then a drop back, and they run a draw of their own. And here's Mike Anderson running for a 1st down. He's down the left sideline. He's way across the 45-yard line. He goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. The Mountain Crest tackler was Jeff Crosby, the free safety. Mountain Crest defense, incidentally, is Olson and Allen at defensive ends, Dean and Painter at tackles, Bindrum at outside backer along with Rod Cook, Boyd Cook and Ryan Ross inside, Priest and Obrey the corners, and Crosby at safety.
Those are the types of plays, again, the draw plays when you got a quick, tough, aggressive defensive line that gets upfield fast like Mountain Crest does. The draw play can work, and it did on that play with Anderson.
3rd down of the game converted, and Logan's first down of the game. Now they're at the 48. They pitch it out to the left side, and here's Arash Malik into the game. Try to get a block for him, and Arash gets to the midfield stripe, and that's it. Playing off the block was Cook. He did a good job of stringing the play out, and then Ross and Bindrup helped make the tackle. Malik gets 2 yards to the 50.
That out pursuit that Mountain Crest is famous for this year, their defense, they get very good pursuit coming from the inside of the defense, pursuing to the outside, stretching out those pitch plays, and they did it there. Good job by Cook.
This is unbelievable. Those Kangen winds are starting, Mike. This has really tested the mettle of everything tonight here. Try to hold on to umbrellas and keep equipment dry and watch the game. 2nd and 8 at the 50. Short drop, Jared Johnson. Throws it out the left side way over the head of Rick Hansen, the tight end. He was double covered over there. Bindrup was ranging out, and they also had Priest on the play. So it'll be 3rd down now. Grizzlies facing their third down of the night, and they've converted on one of them so far.
Well, this type of weather with the wind now kicking up and the rain is driving, pretty much kind of an east to west kind of a wind right now, but it makes an offense stick to basics. You can't be doing a lot of fancy things with the football because obviously the handling of the ball is going to be very tricky tonight.
Anderson and Guerrero split behind Johnson. 3rd down play here. Johnson fumbled the ball. Did he get back on it? I don't think he did. Mountain Crest has recovered. The Mustangs come up with it. It was Wes Dean who made the recovery for the Mustangs at the, where are they going to mark it, at the 49 or 50-yard line. Put it on the 49. It's a loss of 1 for Johnson, a fumble, and Mountain Crest is recovered.
Well, just as we mentioned, the handling is going to be tricky. You know, the ball comes off that muddy surface, and there's mud right in the middle of this field. Ball comes up into Johnson's hands. He can't handle the snap, and Mountain Crest recovers the turnover.
So the Mustangs are back onto the field with their offense. Again, no score at 5:24 left first quarter. Here's an inside handoff. Roundy trying to fight hard behind the line, and he got a couple of yards. Aaron Bracken's over the top to help make the tackle, along with David Bunch for Logan. And it's a run to the 47. Give him 2 yards for Roundy.
Just nowhere to go on the dive play to Roundy. That play worked to the other side on the first series of downs for Mountain Crest. What Mountain Crest and Dan Cox like to do, if they find a play that works, they turn around and come right back to it, and sometimes just to the opposite side of the field, and they'll do that all night until you stop it.
This time, that play didn't work very well. Let's see if they run it again. Well, they do an off-tackle run to Cook, and he's hit pretty good by the Grizzly McLeod, who shot through from a linebacker, and Cook got 1 yard on the play, trying to come to the left side. So now it's 3rd down and 7.
3rd and 7, again, the long yardage situation. It takes Mountain Crest out a little bit of what they like to do throwing the ball. I think the defense still has to be aware of the pass. I think they'd like to look to Stiles, the tight end, who looks to come off and drag across that line of scrimmage on the 3rd and long situation.
Okay, we got Jones way out to the left side, Painter to this side. Tight end, I think, is Stiles on the left side, although it could be Rhodes in on this play. Rudd looked like he had troubles getting the snappy throw. And the receiver, Painter, makes the catch and then gets away for a Mount Crest first down. The cornerback for Logan tried to make the tackle. Mike Anderson, I think, on the play and missed him. And it's a Mustang first down. They're going to mark it down to the 34-yard line. So that's good for 12 yards to Painter and a first down.
I think it was Baldwin, actually, that caught that ball.
Oh, I'm sorry, Baldwin. I meant Baldwin, even though I maybe was saying Painter.
Baldwin lined up as wide receiver. A good throw there by Rudd in this rain.
Now Dersh is into the game, a young receiver out to the left side. Split backs. Here's Rudd handing it off. Again, trying to come to this side, and this time they have Roundy hemmed in pretty good. Logan's defense starting to do a better job on the running plays. That time it was Dave Peacock and David Bunch that were in on the tackle. And the mark of the ball is really a loss of a yard back to the 35-yard line. We're also brought to you tonight, Mike, let me mention the USU Community Credit Union. Again, a bank with a bonus, owned and operated by you and your neighbors. Now go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm sure the Logan Grizzlies and Stu Howell worked on that run defense all week this week. They gave up a lot of big plays against Lehigh last week, and I'm sure that was one of their focuses this week. Okay, here's 2nd and 11, and Cook goes in motion. It's a handoff to Roundy, trying to find a little hole, and he did. He quickly gets down to the 30-yard line of Logan before he's tackled by James on the dive play. Boy, Mount Crest really likes to use that dive. They've got a good, quick offensive line. They're not real big. They're not as big as the line that Logan faced last week against Lehigh. Lehigh was averaging about 225. I think this is about 25, 30 pounds less of an average weight for this Mountain Crest offensive line. But they do a good job with Roundy on the dive play. 6-yard run. It's 3rd and 5. We have 2:57 left first quarter. No score. Mount Crest with the ball. They've had it the whole game in Logan's half of the field. Here's Rudd back, looking again. Left ball's knocked down. No, Rudd maybe even held on to it. Now there's flags everywhere. And the ball came loose, and there were people jumping on everybody. I don't know if Rudd's pass got knocked down or if it got caught as it was thrown or he decided not to throw the ball. We could have a possible face mask on this tackle as Rudd brought the, yep, that's what it is. Face mask against Logan. Did Rudd ever let go of the ball, do you think? No, he didn't. He brought the ball down, and because he saw the pressure coming, and he tucked the ball away, and as the Logan defender had his hands in the air, came down to make the stop, he just grabbed onto Rudd's face mask to kind of assist in the tackle. I don't think there's any doubt that Mount Crest is glad to have that penalty happen, because it would have been 4th down and about 8 or 9. They would have had a tough decision to make here, but now they're going to pick up a first down out of this as Logan backs up. They're going to mark it inside the 25, down to the 20, and they're going to go to the 19-yard line, it looks like. Yep, they're going to put it on the 19. So that is a 10-yard penalty against Logan and a first down. Mustangs convert their first 3rd down of the night. No score. Field position now at the Logan 19-yard line. Here's Rudd handing it off to Cook. Greg Cook, the junior, still fighting for yardage. That's a great run by Cook because it looked like at the line of scrimmage that I think Peacock had him, and he slipped away and got it down to about the 14-yard line before James made the tackle. A 5-yard run by Cook. He's their leading rusher on the season, although Roundy's had their only 100-yard running game. The running backs are very quick and they're versatile, and they fight for yardage. Again, not real big size, but that's kind of a trademark of this Mountain Crest team is they fight and take advantage of the opportunities given them. Priest left, Dersh right, in motion Roundy, handoff Cook, dives near a first down at the 10. Again, was that a flag? I don't think so. Something came flying in, but it was just a tackler. Ball's just barely at the 10-yard line. It'll be short of a first down. A run of about 4 yards there, and 3rd down and a long 1 for Mountain Crest. No doubt this is 2-down territory. You know, the kicking game, too, would be a little bit tricky with that footing down there, so there's no doubt that Mountain Crest would go for it on 4th down if they don't get it here. Ball at the 10-yard line, a 4-yard run. There goes Cook in motion, and here's Rudd trying to quarterback sneak, and he may have lost control of the ball, and he's down right about at the line of scrimmage. I don't know if he was going to quarterback sneak, but Aaron Bracken wasn't going to let him do anything. Right at the 10, tackle made, so the fumble is recovered by Mountain Crest, and it'll be 4th down, and they still need a long 1, and now they're going to bring in Jones and Obrey, so they are not going to try a field goal here. Brick Jones is one of their key targets. He might be somebody they're looking for. Again, they haven't looked to the tight end yet tonight. Watch for that play here. Can they, again, the Grizzlies facing the 4th down here. Slot to the left side.
Jones is in the slot. Outside of him, Obrey. Split backs behind Matt Rudd, the quarterback. Here's the fourth down play. Cook goes in motion. Rudd fakes. He throws over the middle for Stiles. Incomplete off of his hands. The Logan safety, or actually the cornerback, Jared Sedgwick, was on the coverage, and he hit him right as the pass hit Stiles in the hands, and Logan takes over on downs. Incomplete pass.
That's the play that Mountain Crest likes to run to Stiles. He just sustains a quick block at the line of scrimmage to hold up the defensive end. Then he just breaks down to the middle of the field. It's a good throw by Rudd, and probably in dry weather, Stiles might have come up with that one, but this cold, wet rain, that was a little bit hard on the fingertips, and he dropped the ball in the end zone.
24 seconds to play here in the first quarter. No score. Again, apologize if I don't look at the scoreboard as much. I have to move the umbrella to do that. And then Sherry gets mad, who's tried to keep stats here along with Emily Cressall. I mean, we're huddled in. We're doing yeoman's duty here tonight. This is double-time type stuff. In motion goes Greg and running back Guerrero. They give it to Tony, and Tony busts it out near about the 15-yard line with just a straight dive. It was Cook, and they've got two Cooks on the linebacker spot, so let's make sure we give credit to the right one. Boyd Cook. Boyd and Rod Cook, they're brothers, juniors and seniors who play outside and inside backer there. That will probably be the last play of the quarter as he dives it out to the 15-yard line, and that'll be it. So at the end of one quarter at Hiram, in the rain, no score, Mustangs and Grizzlies. We're back after this timeout.
Secure and beautify your home or business with ornamental ironwork from Bear Welding. Choose from railings and fences, ornamental columns and security doors, step and stairway railings, gates, and custom-designed work built to fit any situation or need. Call Bear Welding today for your free estimate. Our years of experience will give you quality and beauty to be proud of. Bear Welding in Providence.
It's gotten so big. It's time to give it away.
Deseret Industries prepares 30 tons of donated clothes each day for shipments to relief organizations worldwide.
Africa, Eastern Europe, the Caribbean, South America.
Or can we sustain that level of contributions?
All the usable clothes we need are sitting surplus in people's closets.
Folks will contribute. They just need a reason.
The most important thing is that we just stay on the air then. All right, the Skyview Bobcats have a big lead on Olympus. That's surprising, Mike.
Early in the game, they're leading 14-0 over Olympus.
Again, that's a third-ranked team in 4A, and everybody was saying Region 7 was so tough. All right, Logan has a 2nd down and 5 play from their own 15. They pitch the ball short side of the field to Greg Anderson. Off of a good block, but there's a flag. That's why the block was so good, and Anderson hurdles a man and gets way out near about the 40-yard line, but the run's coming back. Grizzlies don't know it yet, but David Webb says I was clipped.
Well, David Webb was out there trying to do run support, and he came up hard and turned the play inside, but Anderson did a good job of exploiting the hole that was there. He was either held or they're going to have a clipping penalty on this play by one of the Grizzlies.
It is clipping. So that's, again, at this point where they are, it's going to be half the distance to the goal anyhow. So now the flag was at about the 17-yard line. They're going to mark it back from there. It will be going to mark it to the 8. So it ends up being, from the line of scrimmage, a 7-yard penalty is all. So now Logan will have the ball at the 8-yard line as we start this second quarter.
Grizzlies struggling to get out of their own territory. Mountain Crest has had the ball on Logan's side of the football field the entire first quarter. Now the Grizzlies again need to get some first downs going. Now we have an encroachment penalty, and that looks like that was on Painter for Mountain Crest. That's going to be 5 yards against these things.
Both of these teams have been uninhibited as far as penalties go this year. Logan's been had
good
quite
way to
a
put
few,
it, Al.
Mountain Crest gets a bunch. So they 5 yards get it back. So instead of being like a 2nd and 12, now it's a 2nd down and about 7 for Logan. At the 13-yard line, we're just starting the second quarter. Brought to you tonight by Deseret Industries. Again, a federally approved sheltered workshop at the Deseret Industries. Dropping back, a slant-in pass, and it was almost intercepted by Ryan Ross, intended for Mike Anderson. They had that play well defended.
Anderson, I think, he just lined up in the slot that time on the left side of the Logan's offensive formation, and Ross did a good job of just peeling back and watching Anderson. The ball pretty poorly thrown, and fortunately for the Grizzlies, that wasn't intercepted.
Okay, it should be, I think, about 4th down now. Was it just 3rd?
And it's 3rd down.
Okay. Guerrero ran one play, and then they ran the second play and got it called back and then didn't run a play there, so that's right. 3rd down and 7. Ball at the 13-yard line, no score yet. In motion goes Guerrero out to a slot to the right. Jared Johnson rolling out to the right side. Painter goes after him. He throws, it's tipped and caught by the Grizzly receiver. Nice play by Logan's, I think it was, who was it, Mike Anderson?
I think it might have been.
Or Rick Hansen. It's Hansen, the tight end, who made the catch.
Well, the numbers are a little bit hard to read with the red against the white, and then it's wet. So it's kind of hard to read, but it was a good play defensively, actually, by Webb, who would tip the football right into the receiver's hands. That gives Logan a big first down.
So Hansen with a 12-yard first down catch out to the 25-yard line. And Logan has a 1st and 10 with 11:13 to go here in the first half. No score yet. I formation, Malik now is the tailback. In motion comes Ryan Thompson into the quarterback sneak by Johnson, and he backs his way to the 22. One of the Cooks there, Boyd Cook, made the play for Mountain Crest, and also one of the linemen, I believe that's Painter. No, it was not. It was Ryan Ross, the other linebacker, both linebackers.
10:49, the clock running here in the second quarter, still no score, and a surprising score again out in Smithfield. Just to repeat that one, is 14-0 for the Bobcats over Olympus, the last update that we had. Also in baseball, it was 5-1, I believe, Chicago leading Toronto.
I had the pin there in my mouth while I was trying to put my gloves on, folks. That's why I sounded a little muffled. In motion goes Ryan Thompson to the far side. Dropping back is Johnson, a flare pass. It's caught. Guerrero, does he get away? No. Boyd Cook played him man-to-man, and then Webb and Ross helped finish the play, but that was really all the way a great defensive play by Boyd Cook.
That play was well read by Cook, the linebacker. He just follows Guerrero out of the backfield. Guerrero makes a pretty good catch and then turns upfield, but Cook's there for the immediate tackle.
No gain on the play, on the pass completion to Guerrero. So now it's 3rd down and still about 8 yards to go for Logan. They're at their own 27, 9:52 to go, no score. We're also brought to you tonight by Thornapple Valley Tri-Miller. I noticed they were out a part of the tailgate before the game for these Mountain Crest fans with their great hot dogs. Other good things to eat. One running back to pass Johnson. The blitz from Painter. The throw is a catch by Scott Larson. He's wrapped pretty good as he got to the Mountain Crest sideline, but that's a first down for Logan. Larson kind of bobbled it for a moment, but then held on at the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Grizzlies are converting 3rd downs. 11-yard play.
Well, you really have to hand it to Johnson. He had big pressure coming right up the middle from Painter. Tony Guerrero saved Johnson as Tony puts a stop on Painter's rush. And then Johnson does a good job in this cold weather. I don't know how he does it, but he gets the ball out there pretty good zip. And it's a big first down again for Logan.
I don't know if we'll have any stats tonight, but again, we're going to try to stay here and get it all done. Joe Anderson now is a wide receiver out to the right side, and Thornley's in the game, and he comes to a slot left side, and then Larson's outside of him. First down play. Here's Jared Johnson back to pass. Blitz is on. He's hit as he throws long for Anderson. It's up in the air, and it's intercepted. And Obrey, I think, got the interception. Yep, Neil Obrey. Johnson kind of put that one up for grabs, trying to go long. This year, Logan's done that a couple of times to Mike Anderson. It's worked a couple of times, but also it's backfired. And the interception by Obrey, but for the first time in the game, Mountain Crest will have the ball in their own half of the field, a 36-yard line.
Turnovers are something that Mountain Crest does take advantage of. Now Logan has 2 in this ball game. They fumbled in the first quarter, and now a interception. The Grizzlies want to stay in this ball game. They got to hang on to the football and not turn the ball over.
Remember last year at Logan, no turnovers for the Grizzlies in that game, and 3 for Mountain Crest. Here's the Rudd's going to go for a long one now. He throws for Jones, and it's incomplete, and great coverage by Sedgwick. He had that whole play. In fact, he had himself between Obrey and the ball.
That's a good play by the man-to-man coverage from Sedgwick as the receiver lines up on the far right side of the offensive formation, and Sedgwick just follows him, just took a deep drop, allowed the receiver to come up to him, but he put himself between him and the receiver and the football, and that's what you do as a defensive back.
9:04 to play. Our cellular broadcast from Rocky Mountain Cellular and U.S. West Cellular. Al Lewis, Mike Hansen on KVNU Logan. We're early here in the second quarter. No score. Mountain Crest and Logan at Hiram in a driving rainstorm. Mountain Crest with Matt Rudd, long count at the line of scrimmage, and Logan's David Bunch had moved from outside linebacker into the line and was ready to shoot a gap, and before the play started, they blew the whistle, and Logan encroached. So Bunch got a little too anxious trying to make that rush.
Well, Rudd came up and just barked the signals, and David Bunch trying to do a stunt from the outside in up over the center, and as the quarterback Rudd barked the signal, Bunch just leaned over that neutral zone, and the official called the 5-yard penalty.
2nd down and 5 at the 41-yard line. Now they have the wide receiver Baldwin, and inside of him, I believe, is Obrey, and they hand it up on a counter in the backfield to Cook, and Cook's near a 1st down. Pretty good run out to about the 40. Actually, out to about the 45, I should say. It's close to a 1st down, but not quite a 1st down. So a 4-yard run, 3rd down and less than a yard for the Mustangs.
One thing about this rain, Mountain Crest is really known for their vocal crowd and their fans that come out and pack this stadium. It's still pretty full for the weather that we're having, but the fans are very subdued. They don't want to clap. It's too cold, and so that kind of keeps the crowd out of the game.
All right, split backs on 3rd and short. Logan shifting all over. In fact, I think Logan encroached. It looked like Aaron Bracken's helmet went into the neutral zone as he was trying to move over to the right side. So Logan will give Mountain Crest the 1st down by penalty. It'll be 5 yards out to the 50-yard line.
Well, Logan's been doing this all year long. They try to be aggressive defensively, but they've encroached probably countless times. We'd have to go back and read all the stats, but they have done that a lot this year.
So the Mustangs, new life. Ball at midfield, just barely into Logan's half of the field. Split backs again. Here's Rudd going inside to Roundy, and then Roundy busted to the outside with a great move. He's to the 30, to the 20, 10, 5, great speed and a touchdown. Again, the Logan defense gives up the big play. The run is, we'll call it 50 yards by Roundy for the score.
Nothing fancy up the middle, just a dive play off the between the guard and the tackle for Mountain Crest. Roundy gets about 10 yards deep in Logan's secondary, then breaks it to the outside, breaks it left down the left sideline. Showed great speed as he got about to the 20-yard line, outran the Grizzly secondary for the Mountain Crest touchdown.
I'll tell you, on a field where everybody seems to be really worried about their footing, Roundy had no doubt where he was going. And he runs by everybody for a 50-yard touchdown. The holder is Rudd. The kicker is Schroeder. They muddle huddle left, and now they come back and line up, trying to get the PAT. High snap, but Rudd got it down. The kick by Schroeder's on the way, and it's no good. That's his first miss, I think, of the year. 7:52 to go. It's 6-0 Mustangs, and we'll be back after this timeout.
I want a piece of pie and a donut too. Schaefer House Bakery.
Quality is our main ingredient at Schaefer House Bakery. Every item is baked with that homemade touch you just can't get anywhere else unless you baked it yourself. Taste the difference at Schaefer House Bakery. You'll be glad you did. Schaefer House Bakery, 1045 North Main or inside Main Street.
Schaefer House Bakery, so good.
Big snow, come see what we've got. Our sporting goods, white sails. Big snow, come ski what we've got.
Al Sporting Goods will snow you with super reductions on the finest ski brands.
Get the Kaufman Sorel Caribou Boot or Columbia Bugaboo Coat. Your choice, just $99.99.
Our sporting goods, white sails. Big snow.
Styles to kick off. The Mountain Crest drive ended up being only 3 plays for the 64 yards. There's a very short kickoff. Mike Nielsen for Logan had it, fumbled the ball, and I don't know, Mountain Crest may have recovered at the 31-yard line. There was a Grizzly, there was a Mustang that went into the stack, and
I think they're going to give it to Logan.
It looks like Logan's going off the field like they did recover, so maybe Nielsen got back on his own fumble. If he did not, may have been Saunders or Dersch that were in on the recovery, but Logan will have the ball at the 31-yard line, so Nielsen with a 4-yard kickoff return.
Well, that could have really spelled disaster for the Grizzlies after Mountain Crest strikes big with the run by Roundy to turn the ball over again in this situation. Would have been really tough for Logan's defense, but as it is, it looks like Nielsen recovered his own fumble.
Again, as I talked about, last year Logan did not turn the ball over in beating Mountain Crest, and that's a big fact here. And again, now that's 15 big plays, Mike, that they've given up this year. I'll tell you, those are big, big numbers. Here's a pitch to Mike Anderson. Comes up the field with a quick run. Then he hurdles a man, gets way out across the 45-yard line to near midfield. He's starting to show a little bit. We saw some of it last week. It was finally Obrey and Priest who made the tackle. Great run.
Well, Anderson, once he gets upfield, he really squares his shoulders. He shows good speed, too. That time he hurdled the defender at about the 40-yard line, got up almost to midfield on that run. Again, in this type of a field situation, the defender is at a disadvantage in an open field type of situation because the running back knows where he's going to go, and the defender has to make the move to follow, and that's not easy in this muddy condition.
18-yard run. Now here's the fullback Guerrero, and he fires his way down near to the Mountain Crest 45-yard line. We're going to mark it at the 46, and it was Ross who made the tackle along with Cook. The two linebackers for Mountain Crest have been very, very active. That's still, though, a 5-yard run by Tony Guerrero. Grizzlies now at 6:41 to play first half, trailing now 6-0 after the long 50-yard run by Roundy. And now the Grizzlies have 2nd down and 5 at the Mustang 46-yard line. Slot to the left with Anderson in the slot. The only running back, Guerrero, behind Jared Johnson, the sophomore. Mountain Crest looks like they're coming, so Johnson quarterback sneak. Oh, boy, did he get stood up. He got 1 yard, and then that was it. Dean was there. It wasn't Dean who stopped him. It's Tyler Olson, I think. Yeah, it was. Olson and Ross, they were in on the play.
Just tried to do a quarterback sneak as Mountain Crest was coming on the blitz. If they get the center to block down, that leaves a hole. But that time, Mountain Crest defensive line did a great job of stepping through the gaps, and the linebacker stepping up and standing up Johnson as he only got 1 yard out of the quarterback sneak.
Do you quarterback sneak, Mike, when nobody lines up on your center, or do you do it when somebody lines up on the center?
Usually when nobody's over the center, because then the center can block down on the linebacker and it should leave a hole.
Okay, 3rd down and 4 for Logan at the Mustang 45. Key play here. Left side receiver for Logan is Larson. Here's Johnson slipping as he throws the ball downfield, and it's incomplete, nobody even close. Anderson was trying to get there. Johnson had to deliver early because he was being pressured by, I believe it was Dean and Webb who were in the backfield, and Johnson definitely slipped as he was going to throw the ball.
Well, right at midfield where they have the M and the C, or what's left of the MC, or in the middle of the field, was quite muddy, and that's where Johnson tried to plant that back right foot, and he slipped down as he tried to do that. Plus, it was good pressure up the middle by Mountain Crest, forced him to throw the ball early.
Well, the long run by Anderson doesn't get him anything. Logan's going to have to punt. Last time the snap went through Dunn's hands. This time he catches it up into the chest, then kicks it away nicely. Back deep is Greg Cook. He takes it at the 10, sidesteps a tackler at the 15, and he's down right near the 20-yard line. In fact, he'll be right on the 20-yard line. And it was Dersch who got downfield to make the tackle for Logan along with Mike Anderson. So the punt goes 35 yards, and the return was 10. 10-yard punt return by Cook.
This will be Mountain Crest's worst field position to start a possession with.
Yeah, they started at their own 36 the last time it scored. Now they're at their own 20. They bring both Baldwin and Jones to this right side. Now out in motion goes Roundy. He showed the great speed. Here's Cook. Oh, boy, Logan has got him wrapped up pretty good as he dives off the right side. It's Peacock, and then the other one, it was Sampson who grabbed him, and Sampson's the one who takes him down at the 22. A 2-yard run for Cook.
This is what Logan's defense does. They'll play very good defensively up front and then give up the big play like they did the last series with Roundy's big run. Now we have a timeout on the field by the official.
Okay, that gives us time to mention Palmer's. Remember, they're trying to put the service back into the service department. Palmer's, it's a pretty nice place. Go get your car serviced at Palmer's, and Peacock is slowly walking out of the game, and Dersch will come in and replace him. So that's Stephen Dersch, a 5'11", 185-pound senior into the game for Logan. He's played quite a bit this year because of the injuries that have happened to some linemen. We have 4:32 left in the first half. In Hiram, in the rain, Mustangs number 2 ranked, undefeated, leading 6-0. They're 6-0. Now it's Roundy, the only running back that's left. He gets the handoff, and he's piling his way out to about the 25. Behind the block of, let's see, behind the, oh, I've got the wrong side up here. It was the key blocker there was Adam Buse. And the run is only a yard, really, to the, take it 3 yards. 3 yards to the 25-yard line. So now Mountain Crest has another 3rd down. They've converted on a few, had a couple of trouble with a couple of 3rd downs. Here's 3rd and 5 for the Stangs. Roundy to the left side in the backfield, Cook to the right. Here's Rudd. Back to pass. Matt pumps. Now he wants to go long. I think his arm may have been hit as he threw, and it's incomplete. And Sedgwick was going to make the catch along with Jones. There was a little bumping right there in front of the Mountain Crest bench. But no flag. It'll be 4th down.
Again, that's Sedgwick just following the receiver, playing right down the sideline as one of the favorite targets, Brooke Jones, goes down the sideline, down the right side, and Sedgwick has him all the way man-to-man. They did bump a little bit, but both players going up for the football. It's a good no call by the official.
Rudd had a nice 39-yard kick last time, one of his better ones of the season. Back deep is Thornley. He's had a couple of good punters. Oh, Logan's really coming this time, and they hit Rudd, but there's no flags. Thornley comes up and gets it and gets hit immediately, and there are Mustangs all over Thornley because all the other Grizzlies were down on Rudd, and there was no flag. Kind of surprised at that, really.
I think the only thing I can think of is why the officials didn't call that is the coaching staff is running onto the football field for an injured Mustang player.
In fact, Dan Cox, while he's out there checking on the injured guy, is asking about it. But Thornley took it on the run as Rudd was under a lot of pressure. Thornley took it at the 46 and brought it back to the 49, and they're going to mark it right at about the 50. So that's a 4-yard punt return. After the punt went 31 yards. So 31-yard punt, 4-yard punt return. And Logan has good field position. They've had a couple of opportunities with field position in this game.
They got 3:28 to go here in the second quarter, only down 6-0. They could do something offensively here and get back in the ball game. I think the reason the official didn't call that roughing the kicker is because the initial play, the players were down around Rudd's feet, and as Rudd tried to escape that, kind of ran into him. A couple of them tripped over. You know, it was a borderline call, but the official just felt like the players did try to avoid him.
Mount Crest player is still down. I hesitate to take a timeout here, even though we need the timeouts in the first half. I think we've only had a couple so far. Yeah, he's going to get up now. So, and it's Priest. Oh, no, it's Neil Obrey who was injured on the play, but he's walking off the field. We have 3:28 to go in a cold, rainy first half at Hiram, and it's 6-0 Mountain Crest on a big play. Logan goes to trips receivers to the right, the only running back Guerrero. Jared Johnson, the sophomore, away at quarterback, and he starts on this first down rolling to the right. Got some time. Throws the ball. It's caught by Larson on a hook, and he's got a first down. He's inside the 40 to the 37-yard line of the Mustangs. That's a 13-yard pass play to Scott Larson.
Well, previous to that play, Johnson just gets steps back in the pocket. He hasn't really been on the planned rollouts a whole lot tonight. That time was a planned rollout to the right, giving him a little bit more time because Mountain Crest defensive line comes out through the middle so quickly, gives Johnson more time to set up and throw the ball.
Now it's a first down play for Logan. Make it at the Mountain Crest 37. They fake the pitch. They go inside. I think that's Malik. And Malik takes it to the 35-yard line where he is tackled by Bindrup. That's a 2-yard run for Arash Malik. 2nd and 8 for the Grizzlies. We have 2:36 to go in this first half. We're also brought to you tonight by Morris Travel. Again, next week is the deadline on these $39 airfares to the West Coast. Make sure you take advantage of it here in the next little while. Go down and talk to the travel professionals at Morris Travel. 2nd and 8 play, ball at the 35. Slot left for Logan. Hand off to Guerrero, the only running back. He stumbled as he got to the line behind the blocking of Peacock, and he gets to about the 31-yard line. He's grabbed down by Wes Dean. Dean got an injury last week against Skyview. There was some question if he'd play tonight, but he's gone the whole way, I think, so far. Guerrero's run is almost going to be to the 30. Give him 5 yards on the run. 3rd and 3 with 1:55 to go in this first half. Here's a key 3rd down for Logan.
Well, Logan, with only 1:50 to go on the clock running, does desperately need to get something going offensively. Keep Mountain Crest offense off the field and sustain this drive and try to do it to the end of the first half.
Slot with Thompson on the left side. Outside of him, Larson. The tight end, Hansen's on the right. Here's Johnson handing it off, and Malik gets hit as he tried to go off to the right tackle on the right side, and now a timeout is called by Logan. It'll be 4th down coming up, and we'll be back after this word with 1:30 to go. First half, it's 6-0 Mustangs.
For all of your Alpine car stereo and audio-video needs, see Lynn's, 1655 North Main in Logan. Fly Delta to the West Coast now for only $59 each way for a limited time with Morris Travel. At Morris, you can book your flight with only 14 days advance notice to Los Angeles, Ontario, Orange County, Oakland, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, San Diego, Boise, Sacramento, Spokane, and San Jose. Call our office today. Morris Travel in Logan.
All right, we'll get the score from Smithfield after this play. 4th down and 3 for Logan at the 35 of Mountain Crest, trailing 6-0 here late in the first half. They hand it off to Guerrero. He does not get the first down. They tried to go on the left side, and Ryan Ross smelled it out along with Preston Painter, and they make the play, and Mountain Crest takes over on downs. So the Mustangs get the football. Guerrero's run basically 2 yards, but not enough for a first down.
They just tried to cross up Mountain Crest. Mountain Crest coming hard with the blitz, thinking Logan's going to do something with Johnson either on a rollout or something, a quick look-in type of pass pattern, to trying to pressure the pass. And good job defensively by Mountain Crest to stop the play from Guerrero.
Now the clock starts. We're down to 52 seconds left in the first half. A 6-0 ball game. Here's split backs, and the quarterback run. He's got a right. Oh, Logan encroaches again, and it's Bracken, but he was getting some help. Danny Holmes and Bracken wanted to get going on that right side of the defense. They'll give Mountain Crest a free 5 yards here.
That's Logan's favorite penalty this year. We've seen it 3 times already tonight.
So now out to the 33-yard line is where the ball goes. 44 seconds. That rule's wrong in high school football. They shouldn't start the clock again when the defense made the penalty there with the offense in possession of the ball late in the half.
That just takes more time off the clock. Mountain Crest ready to run a play. Now they've used at least 10 seconds just coming up to the line of scrimmage.
Roundy's in a slot left. Stiles is flexed out as the tight end on the right. And here's Rudd back to throw. He throws it out there. Oh, right through the arms of the Logan defender. That one might have been picked by David Bunch. It went through the side. You know, Mark Thornley is the only guy who has an interception for Logan this year. He has 3 of them.
And Thornley's in a free safety now. And you're right, Al. Bunch did have a chance to get an interception. He was playing on the outside linebacker, just following the receiver down the field a little bit, and he turned, and all of a sudden the ball was in his hands and dropped it. Rudd really does have an unusual throwing style. He does throw it sidearm, and maybe that crossed him up a little bit.
2nd down and 5, Mountain Crest. Clock now stopped after the incompletion with 20 seconds. So that last play took about 24 seconds. They went quick count. He dropped the ball. Rudd picked it up and then ran to the left side and may have got a yard or 2. He is tackled by James. But Rudd did fumble the ball, picked it back up, and takes it to about the 36-yard line. He needs 2 yards. 3rd down.
And that's going to be the end of the half.
Mountain Crest lets it run out. So we need an extra break. So let's take a 60-second break right here. Then we'll come back and talk a little bit, and then we'll get into our halftime things. A 3-yard run there to end the half. 6-0 Mountain Crest. Let's take 60 seconds right here.
We all have an investment in our community. At Cache Valley Bank, we believe that our most valuable resource is you. You are the families, the individuals, the business owners, the employees, the friends that make our valley a great place to live.
Cache Valley Bank, our business is you.
For the past 5 years, Cache Valley Bank has helped provide more funds to local businesses than any other bank in Cache Valley. Business is growth. Business is jobs. Business is families. At Cache Valley Bank, our business is you.
Cache Valley Bank, our business is you.
One big play. That's been a problem this year. It was the 15th big play of the year, and it's a 50-yard run by David Roundy. And other than that, the first half has been a pretty even affair, even though Mountain Crest has had a little better field position. Kind of like the first quarter, Mountain Crest had the good field position. In the second quarter, Logan had a little better field position, and neither team could really cash in on the good field position.
And again, it's the big play given up by the Grizzlies on the long running play. Other than that, they really stopped Mountain Crest's offense from really getting anything going. They gave Mountain Crest a couple first downs on some penalties, but Mountain Crest really hasn't done a lot offensively. Again, with the weather, it kind of takes you out of the things that you had planned on doing and some of the other, maybe the more fancy types of plays. But Logan's defense did pretty good, other than just the one big play. On the other side of the football, though, Mountain Crest played very good. They kept Logan pinned the whole first quarter in their end of the football field, and even when Logan did have field position, the Mountain Crest defense did their job in keeping Logan from getting any points in the first half.
Okay, our halftime score is 6-0. We'll come back and recap the first half for you, and we're going to need our 90-second break right here, and we'll do that on the Valley Channel and on King.
For all of your Alpine car stereo and audio-video needs, see Lynn's, 1655 North Main in Logan. Fly Delta to the West Coast now for only $59 each way for a limited time with Morris Travel. At Morris, you can book your flight with only 14 days advance notice to Los Angeles, Ontario, Orange County, Oakland, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, San Diego, Boise, Sacramento, Spokane, and Jose. Call our office today. Morris Travel in Logan.
Ah, leisure time. You know, there's nothing like getting where you want to go. That's why Jack's Tire and Oil have always sold Michelin's. I guess our quality product and honest service has kept us in northern Utah for over 40 years. Since my son and his boys have taken over the business, I've got lots of leisure time. That's why I take my Michelin's wherever I go.
As we head into the 90s, there are technological changes taking place throughout the world. The Bridgerland Applied Technology Center is keeping abreast with these changes and will train you to be a specialist in your field. Located at the BATC is the Northern Utah Intake and Assessment Center, where we can readily evaluate your career strengths. We offer guidance and counseling to help find a career that's right for you. The Bridgerland Applied Technology Center, employment through training.
Anderson rolling out to the left side, looking like he wants to throw sideline. He's got his man. He turns it up the field. Man-to-man on Hill as he goes in motion. Handed off Anderson. Look for a hole inside. Went outside. It turned the corner, and Anderson got a first down. And here's Anderson again into the secondary. He breaks the tackle at the 40, at the 30, at the 20. Bring Anderson. Touchdown, Logan.
This is the Valley Channel High School Game of the Week, sponsored by Cache Valley Bank. Our business is you. Schaefer Bakery. Quality is our main ingredient. Bear Welding. Secure and beautify with ornamental iron work. Blacker Furniture. Home of the soft sell. And Al Sporting Goods. We don't want everybody's business, just yours.
By the time you're hungry enough for lunch at taco time, we've already put in a hard day's work. While the other guys are sound asleep, never dreaming of going to so much trouble. We're wide awake and starting fresh. At Taco Time, we've got people to take care of. Be one of them. Get a soft taco for only 99 cents for a limited time at participating Taco Time restaurants.
We make it fresh every day. Taco Time.
Hey, I thought you were a Honda for life guy, huh? What happened?
Well, this happened.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I love the way it drives. Handling, the control, it just feels really connected to the road. Even has anti-lock brakes standard.
Oh, come on, what? You can't get ABS in the Accord, huh?
Oh, yeah, for about 4,000 more.
So what is this?
The new Grand Am. It's a Pontiac.
All right, both teams back onto the field. The Mustangs and Grizzlies loosening up for the second half. Again, on a cold night like this, with that wind starting to blow just a bit out of the canyon, although it's not yet to the 50-mile-per-hour gust that we were talking about earlier. Let's hope that we can, again, get to where, we're not going to get those strong, tough canyon winds, so we can get this second half in, and both teams will be able to enjoy it. Again, Logan started the game with the football, so Mountain Crest will get it to start the second half, and again, the Mustangs, let's see, in the first half of offense, again, Sherry and Emily trying to keep the stats here. And let's see, what does Logan have? How many yards rushing? 68 rushing. Mountain Crest has 88 yards rushing. Passing, Logan has 37. Mountain Crest has 12. So Mountain Crest has about 100 yards of offense in the first half, and Logan has a little bit more than 100 yards.
Logan had some big plays when they had pretty good field possession in the second quarter, but again, they played okay between the 30s, but couldn't get any better than that.
Okay, so just try to get all of it adjusted here in the rain, although the rain's not nearly as hard as it was. I'll tell you, it started about, what was it, about 10:15 after 6. It started to rain, and it has rained since, although it has, well, now it's starting to come down a little bit harder again, but not raining like as hard as it was a couple of times in the first half, but it hasn't been a hard downpour. It's getting cold, though. You can certainly tell our weather changed this week for the cold again.
And just a couple days ago, I was down in El Paso, Texas, and it was about 90 degrees. We're out in a desert golf course, and
aren't you glad you came back to do a high school football game, Mike, huh?
Quite a change.
Tell you, Mike again drives up from Salt Lake all the time, a branch manager down there for Zions Bank, helping us out on our broadcast. We appreciate his help. Our producer engineer tonight, Michelle Britt, and again, special stat help tonight, Emily Cressall and Sherry Peterson, trying to keep their clipboards so they can be read, plus they're freezing. And it's a lot colder than I think everybody thought. And again, it doesn't help that you come here and you get all wet, and then the wind starts to blow a little bit.
And it's really important for these football teams, too, to come out and really warm up good and hard, because you've been cold and you go into the locker room, you come back out in this cold and wet. It's important that you come out and you warm up really good and long, and you take your time and you make sure that all those muscles are loose, because you don't want to come out here and be pulling your hamstrings and things like that right at the beginning of this third quarter.
Well, the Grizzlies will kick off, and it will be Aaron Morrison. Again, during the pregame warm-ups, I could tell that kickers were having about as much trouble as anybody of getting decent footing, and we're talking about place kickers were having the trouble. Back deep, Roundy and Cook for Dan Cox's. Cox again trying to go 16-1 in the last 3 years in the region. Again, the only loss they've had in the last 3 seasons, that one to Logan last year. A win tonight by Mountain Crest gets them into a tie, at least for the region championship, and playing Ogden, you'd almost have to give it to them outright. And the Mustangs up 6-0 on an almost 50-yard run that we're calling 50 yards for David Roundy. It was a great run, especially considering the conditions. And there's a pretty good kick by Morrison down the field at the 8-yard line. It's Roundy behind a wedge coming up through the middle of the field, and he gets across the 25-yard line, and then he's hit pretty good by the Grizzlies. In fact, it was downfield Jake Jensen. No, that's Bijan Andrade who made the play. He's been a pretty good special teams player for Logan. He's a sophomore. And it's out to the 27-yard line. So the run back is 19 yards, and the Mustangs will be at their own 27-yard line as we start the second half. A couple of the Mountain Crest people trying to get behind the Mustangs to get going offensively. Wide receiver way over to the left side. I believe that's Baldwin. Out of the backfield, Cook in motion. A pitch to Roundy, sweep to the left side, and Roundy got about 3 yards, and then Logan got him pretty fast. Danny Holmes stringing the play out from a defensive tackle spot, but it was a linebacker who came across the play, and it was McLeod who made the tackle. 3-yard run, 2nd and 7.
Trying to use Roundy again. They used Roundy quite a lot in the first half. I think Roundy individually now has 77 yards on 7 carries.
Again, one 50-yard run for a touchdown. Didn't hurt it, the stats. 11:07 to go, third quarter. 6-0 Mountain Crest. Again, Cook out in motion. They run a counter, kind of looking like the same play, but Logan sniffed it out and played it well. Crashing down was Rick Sampson on the defensive line to try to really stop the play, and then Tony Guerrero also helped out on the tackle. No gain, ball still at the 30-yard line. That was a nice job by the Grizzly defense.
Stiles was a little bit injured on that play. He was trying to block down on the linebackers, and he's injured his right shoulder.
You know, that play is kind of going against what the scouting report says about Mountain Crest. That time, Cox made it look like the same play, but then he countered it and tried to come back. Okay, 3rd and 7 for the Mustangs at their own 30. Back to pass, Rudd, straight drop back. Fires out here in the flat, wide open and intercepted by the Grizzlies. It's Tony Guerrero playing the flat. He's running down the sidelines, and he's out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Rudd threw it right to him. I mean, Rudd badly underthrew. I said wide open. It was wide open Tony Guerrero. And Guerrero with his first interception of the season, and the Grizzlies have a 1st and 10 at the Mustang 15-yard line.
Guerrero just playing from, I think, an outside linebacker position. It was just out there, just in his own coverage, just covering the flat. No receiver really within 5 or 6 yards of him. The ball thrown from Rudd to Guerrero. Guerrero almost dropped it as he cut it in the midsection, then took off down the left sideline.
Okay, can Logan cash in? Slot right side, offset I. Johnson pitch the ball to Henderson. Turn the corner. Mike Anderson scores a touchdown for Logan on the first play as he swept it in from the right side. Webb had a shot at him coming up from either a linebacker or a defensive secondary spot. Webb had a shot. I think he's an outside backer. But then Logan turned it upfield and good blocking downfield, and it's a 15-yard touchdown run by Mike Anderson.
Credit the entire offensive line doing their job of blocking down on the defensive front of Mountain Crest, and also Guerrero leading out and allowing no inside-out linebacker pursuit to really stop that play. Anderson gets to the line of scrimmage, and Webb did have a shot at him, but only could get about a fingertip on him as Anderson squared his shoulders and showed good speed for the touchdown.
Now, can Morrison put the point after through to give Logan the lead? There's a good snap. The kick by Morrison is good, and Logan leads with 10:10 to go in the third quarter. A timeout. It's the Grizzlies 7 and the Mustangs 3. Mustangs 6.
Secure and beautify your home or business with ornamental ironwork from Bear Welding. Choose from railings and fences, ornamental columns and security doors, step and stairway railings, gates, and custom-designed work built to fit any situation or need. Call Bear Welding today for your free estimate. Our years of experience will give you quality and beauty to be proud of. Bear Welding in Providence.
It's gotten so big. It's time to give it away.
Deseret Industries prepares 30 tons of donated clothes each day for shipments to relief organizations worldwide.
Africa, Eastern Europe, the Caribbean, South America.
Or can we sustain that level of contributions?
All the usable clothes we need are sitting surplus in people's closets.
Folks will contribute. They just need a reason.
Well, now the Grizzlies quickly convert the turnover. One play, 15 yards. Mike Anderson with a touchdown run. And now, again, as the rain starts to intensify, Aaron Morrison to kick off, and Logan has just taken the lead in the ball game by a score of 7-6. Last year at this time, Greg Anderson, Mike's brother, had just run like 53 yards to give Logan a 17-0 lead against Mountain Crest. Here's Morrison's kickoff, again towards Roundy. Roundy takes this one at the 7. He's coming to this sideline. 15, 20, good blocking. And then upfield, he's finally upended across the 30. Mountain Crest got a good run back out of that with some good downfield blocking. One Grizzly had a shot, and once he didn't get him, Logan was the only one who could, at about the 32-yard line. So the run back that time is good for 25 yards by Roundy.
And Aaron Bracken is kind of the wedge breaker for the Grizzlies, and he did a good job of fighting off some pretty heavy blocks on him to get outside on Roundy, but Roundy did get a great kickoff return out of that.
First down at the 32-yard line. 7-6 now, Grizzlies. It's Baldwin to the left side. He caught the only pass for Mountain Crest in the first half. Jones to the right. Handoff, and the running back slipped as he tried to get towards the hole. It was kind of an up-the-middle run. And so really no Grizzly tackled him, although Mark James was there. And the ball carrier might have been Ryan Ross. I think it was Ryan Ross. I saw him come out of the stack, so that's a run of 3 yards to the 35-yard line. Second down and 7.
Quickly, we should probably update the Skyview score. Olympus has come back, scored 21 unanswered points, and at halftime they lead 21-14.
Split backs. Here's Rudd looking back now to the right side after he went left to start with. Now he runs again a little ways. Now he throws long down the field, and it's incomplete. Back there was Thornley along with Priest. And the pass drops incomplete, intended for Jason Priest. Rudd did a lot of running around and did a good job of buying time. He might have been able to run for a first down almost. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Well, Rudd does prefer to scramble. He hasn't run the ball a whole lot this year. He prefers to throw the football, and that time showed a pretty good arm as he squared his shoulders. Once he got to the outside, he did a little roll out to the left, getting away from Danny Holmes, and threw a pretty good ball out there, but just fell incomplete.
Roundy got a little hurt on the kickoff returns. That's why Ross is in there, along with Cook. Ross in motion. Here's Rudd to throw down the middle. It's wobbly, and it's incomplete, and the tight end Rhodes was wide open. Somebody may have tipped that ball at the line of scrimmage because Rudd's pass was kind of going end over end downfield, but it still almost should have been caught.
And but Rudd also had out on the flat Ryan Ross. Ryan Ross had gone in motion, and he had was about 10 yards down the field. There wasn't a Grizzly within 20 yards of him. He was waving his hands frantically for the football, but Rudd did not see him.
Thornley is back. The punter is Rudd. Mount Crest to punt from their own 35, or apparently so here, trailing by a point with 8:57 left. Our cellular broadcast from Rocky Mount Cellular and U.S. West Cellular. Kind of a wobbly kick by Rudd. Thornley sees it bounce at the 30, and it dies at the 26, kind of like a wedge shot. And then, wow, who was it? Schaefer came downfield and just belted Thornley. The whistle hadn't blown yet. And that gets the Mount Crest people a little excited. Over on the far side, a couple of the Grizzly people are pointing. But the play was not blown dead yet, finally, until somebody touched the ball. And once they did at the 26, that was after.
We saw that. Lehigh did the same thing to Thornley. Thornley is getting away from the football, and he's standing there next to the football, and if the whistle doesn't blow, it's live. And that happened to Thornley last week. He's going to have to learn. That's twice now that he's been standing there and taking a big shot.
Still, though, it's pretty obvious he wasn't going to go get the ball. I mean, you know, the guy comes down the field and belts him pretty good. Thompson out to the right. Left side is Larson. Now an I formation for Logan. And here's a handoff to Mike Anderson. Oh, he gets hit hard, but he gets out to about the 29-yard line. The guy who put the hit on him is injured on the play. Well, he's slow to get up. Wes Dean. Dean was hurt again last week. He made a big, hard major league hit on Mike Anderson as he runs it to the 28-yard line, 29-yard line. Give him 2 yards on the play.
Mountain Crest lines up in a 4-4 and sometimes even a 5-4 type of a defensive front. They have 8 people right up next to the line of scrimmage with 2 corners and a free safety on that previous play. And Logan trying to exploit that type of a defense. If Anderson breaks through, that's a big game.
That was a 38-yard punt, incidentally, by Rudd. Now it's 2nd down and 8 at the 29, and Johnson hands it off to Guerrero, lowers the head, and gets upended as he gets to the 32-yard line. And again, it was Dean who did the upending, along with Bindra. They're going to mark it all the way out to the 32-yard line. So the Grizzlies now have 5 yards to go and 3rd down. 3rd and 5, leading 7-6. Logan is now just here in the 3rd quarter with 7:10 to play in the 3rd.
Big 3rd down here for the Mountain Crest defense. If they stop Logan here, they're going to get pretty good field position.
Thompson in a slot to the right. The sophomore quarterback, Jared Johnson, has the offset eye in the backfield. He pitches to Mike Anderson. Anderson gets the block, goes to the outside. He's got the 1st down, I believe. It'll depend on where they spot it, but it looks pretty good from here.
Just right at the marker.
Yep, 1st down, the official says, at the 37-yard line, a 1st and 10 for Logan. So a 5-yard run by Mike Anderson. Remember, we saw Logan doing that against West High School last year. Remember, 3rd down in long yardage, or 3rd down in what looked like passing situations? Mike Anderson was running for 1st down.
Well, Logan knew that they could run to the outside. Again, Mountain Crest gets upfield so quickly. If Logan's outside, people just sustain a block, that's going to open the hole to the outside. And that worked on that previous play.
Now Anderson's out of the game. In motion goes Thompson. 1st down, they fake the pitch. Oh! They hand to Guerrero. No, it wasn't Guerrero. It was the new running back. May have been Malik. And he just got belted by Dean. Wes Dean was there, and Malik is taken down for a loss back to the 35-yard line. 2-yard loss.
Wes Dean's not real tall. He's about 5'9", 180, and he gets underneath the block and just powers past the gap and past the offensive line and right into the running back's face as he receives the handoff. Nowhere for him to go on that play.
Binder playing outside backer along with Webb. On the corners, they've got Priest right now on one side. It looks like Baldwin on the other side. The free safety's Crosby. Here's a draw play. Mike Anderson steps by the 1st tackler and then slips as he gets across the 40 to about the 41 or 42-yard line. The free safety Crosby coming up to make the tackle. That's a 6-yard run by Mike Anderson, though, to the 41-yard line. And so now Logan is 3rd down, and they need about 6.
The official on that play threw a pretty good pick on Boyd Cook, who was coming up to make the stop on Anderson, and Cook tried to avoid the official and allowed Anderson to get about 5 yards past.
Logan's offensive front has Ryan White in there at one guard spot right now. Peacock at tackle. 3 wide receivers this side of the field. Dunn, Thompson, and Anderson. Johnson on 3rd and 6, and now the lineman Peacock went a count too early to pass block out to the left, and it's a 5-yard penalty on Logan.
This is the type of situation for Logan as they line up 3 wide receivers to the left. Look for the tight end to drag across the middle because Mountain Crest defensive backs ran over to this right side to cover those 3 receivers, and the tight end had single coverage, so maybe Perry could look for that play, either this play or down the road.
Now it's 3rd down and about 11 for Logan, maybe almost 12. Clock running, 5:08 left, 3rd quarter. A rainy night in Hiram, Utah, and Logan leading by a score of 7-6. We're on KVNU Logan. I'm Al Lewis, Mike Hansen. We're also brought to you tonight by one of our game sponsors, Central Park. Best meal, best deal at Central Park. And also by the Bridgerland Applied Technology Center with their employment through training program. 3rd and 12. Mustangs tee off on Jared Johnson. The sophomore back. Blitz. Rolls out right. Johnson throws. Was there a flag? It's incomplete. And I think I saw, yeah, there was a flag thrown on the play. It's going to be a holding call, I'm sure, on Logan, it looked like, but still the pass went incomplete. Mountain Crest will probably decline and make it 4th down unless they want to push Logan back even further and try to get better field position.
I'd almost be surprised if they do that. They're going to be getting the ball here. You know, you give Logan and you get a 1st down on something like that. Boy, that could sure hurt Mountain Crest, but I'm sure that they'll decline the penalty.
Dan Cox is talking right now to Davey Swenson, his defensive coach. You know, Logan's got to have a 4th down to punt the ball from about the 36 if they don't take the penalty. But see, the 10 yards would take it way back to about the 22 or 23 yard line, and they may figure, let's take them back, we can stop them. Yeah, they're going to go back. They want the yardage. So no pass incompletion. It'll be just a penalty on Logan. But again, high school football rules, it'll be a holding from point of infraction.
That makes it bigger.
Now they're saying, Ryan Ross was saying, decline the penalty to the sidelines. They'd already told him to take it. I'm sure they're going to take it now. They told him they're going to take it.
Looking down here at Roundy for Mountain Crest, David Roundy, he was injured on that kickoff return. He's got a big ice pack on his right shin. You know, probably just got hit real hard right there on the tackle as he came up the field, and he hasn't been in the ball game since.
The official now says holding. Oh, now they declined it. They wanted it, but they declined it. Why? If the sidelines is saying they wanted it, and if the guys on the field are saying we'll take it, how could they decline it?
I guess there's just confusion. The captain was Ryan Ross, and he was talking to the official. Every coach on Mountain Crest sideline was saying, take the penalty. And
he even saw that and then still declined it, I guess. So they'll punt with Dunn from the 36-yard line on the incomplete pass. Snap back to him. No pressure at all on Nate Dunn. He kicks a nice high kick. Greg Cook retreating. Goes back to the 25. Now Cook back to the 30. Cook coming to the sideline and goes to the 35-yard line. Tackle made by Aaron Bracken. There's a marker on the field way over on the far side. Way over on the far side, there's a marker.
The only thing that could be would be one of the Logan's defenders trying to get upfield was hailed, and let's see what happens here.
Or it could be too many players on the field, I guess, thrown by one of those back people.
But being on the sideline is kind of an unusual place to see that.
They're talking right now. Well, they're in a Logan huddle. And the call is a blocking below the waist call on Logan.
How does Logan block below the waist on when they're defending the punt?
Nobody anywhere can block or cut anybody or get him out of the play at all. You're not allowed to do it on either side. So now they're going to talk to Mount Crest captain. Now the question being here, Mike, is maybe it happened during the punt. We might see what we saw earlier this year, where they might be able to then take the yardage from where it was punted from and really pin Logan back, and maybe still Dan Cox and them will get their wishes. Now the official from the far side's blowing his whistle and coming in, and he might already say that the guy had possession before it happened. He may not give him that option.
Actually, he may be saying that it was against Mountain Crest and not Logan. I think I was looking at Rudd. He indicated that the penalty was on them. The officials are just a little confused right now as to what's going on.
I still can't understand how a sideline can be saying take the penalty, and your guy looks at him and says, should we decline? And they say no, and he says take it, then the officials say it's declined. I mean, do you only get one chance?
You can't change your mind once the officials indicate it, I guess.
Okay.
The officials still conferring there.
We're also brought to you by
other.
Comfort Inn. Remember, you can get a night without going away at the Comfort Inn of Logan. Their name really does say it all. Comfort Inn. Okay, now they finally thing out maybe. Let's see. Now the official's going to explain to Dan Cox. And you as a head coach, whenever they come to explain it to you, you always know it's not good for your side.
You know what's going to happen is Logan is going to get a first down because they're calling a 15-yard penalty against Mountain Crest.
Before they had the possession.
Before they had possession. It looks like Logan's offense is back out onto the field and they could get a first down out of this penalty.
Now, we saw that earlier this year where it benefited Logan in the similar type of situation.
Where are they going to mark it from? The flags at the 50, do they do point of infraction on this? There's another question that we've got.
I mean, if they do point of infraction, they could mark it to the 35 of Mountain Crest. I can't believe that could be the case. It's clipping against Mountain Crest.
So the first indication was wrong, and it was clipping against Mountain Crest on a Logan defender trying to get upfield. That type of a penalty being 15 yards, that's going to give Logan, or should give Logan, a first down.
Well, already Logan's offense is back on the field. David Webb, one of the Mountain Crest captains, is talking to the officials now. The referee, though, is over explaining the thing to Perry Christensen, Logan's coach. We're at 4:26 in the third quarter, and it's 7-6 Logan, and it looks like the Grizzlies are going to get a real break out of a punting situation here where Mountain Crest is going to get decent field position. And remember, this wouldn't even have happened if the coaches of Mountain Crest would have got their wishes of being able to take the penalty yards a while back on a holding.
Now the official's marking it off. And there's your 15-yard penalty, and that's Logan first down.
And they're going to mark it right into the Mountain Crest half of the field at the 49-yard line. So that is a 15-yard penalty on Mountain Crest.
Well, that's a huge penalty. You know, Mountain Crest has been kind of troubled with penalties, even though they're undefeated and they've played good football. The penalties have really hurt them, and even some miscommunication on the previous play hurt Mountain Crest as Logan sustains the drive.
Now they have to really dig in with their defense here. There goes Ryan Thompson in motion from a slot left, and here's a handoff off tackle to Mike Anderson with open running room. 45-40 to the Mountain Crest 36-yard line.
We have an injured Grizzly on the field. I can't tell who that is from
the
here.
lineman, and I think it's Peacock again. He went out earlier with an injury. They run by Anderson. They're going to mark it to the 37-yard line of the Stangs, so that's a 12-yard run for Mike Anderson. By far his best game of the season. How many yards does he have?
Anderson now has 84 yards on 10 carries. One reason that play works is because Mountain Crest puts so many people right at the line of scrimmage. You break that initial thrust by the defense, you're into the secondary, and that's a safety that has to make the tackle, so that's always going to be a big gain if you can break that first wall of defense.
Peacock is still down and hurting on the field. He's now going to try to sit up. We have 4:08 left in the third. Seps Grizz. Again, right now with the rain conditions and the way the game's gone, a subdued Western grandstand we're sitting in, Mustang fans. Now Peacock's going to get up to his feet. And again, kind of, he cannot go. He wanted to go back to the huddle. They won't let him. Dersch will play tackle on this next play.
Mike Anderson really has had a good game coming into the ball game. He had 37 rushes, or 37 attempts, a total of 155 yards, averaging about 4.2 yards a carry. His longest play from scrimmage was against Layton in the first game of the year.
All right, first down for the Grizzlies. They're at the Mustang 37-yard line, leading by a point. A handoff to Mike Anderson. He knew there wasn't much of a hole there. They'd really filled it up well. That was Allen and Dean who kind of stuffed it, and then he just kind of fell forward. Ross also in on the tackle, and now we have another official's timeout. That's a 1-yard run for Mike Anderson to the 36-yard line is all, and an official's timeout. Logan again took over after the punt that was called back because of the clipping. Second down and 9 is the score here with 3:42 to play in this third period. Now the clock starts again. Looks like one of the Grizzlies had to go off the field. Thompson goes out to the right side, and outside of him is Larson right. The tight end is Hansen to the left side. Offset I formation. They pitch the ball to Anderson, sweeping to the right side, trying to go to the outside, and he slipped as he tried to make his cut. He got just barely to about the 35 or 34-yard line, and then his footing went right out. In fact, where he went down, there's really no gain on the play. It's right at the 36, and it looked like there was maybe a little bit of room there for him.
Well, Mountain Crest did a pretty good job of stringing that out. There was only maybe 3 to 4 yards to the sideline that Anderson had to cut up field through, and as he made his move, his right foot just goes out from under him. Logan clinging to a 7-6 lead with 3 minutes exactly to go here in the third quarter and the clock running. Mountain Crest trying to keep Logan from putting any padding to their lead.
It's at the 36-yard line of Mountain Crest. Larson, who's had a catch or two tonight, comes out to the left side. Jared Johnson, the sophomore quarterback's gone the whole way. 3rd and 9 play. Fakes it, pitches it, back on a reverse to Thornley. And he's got open running room, and Crosby missed him. And Thornley will score a touchdown for Logan. How did Crosby miss the tackle? He ran right by him. It's a flanker reverse. It looks like a pitch, and it goes for a 36-yard Logan touchdown to Mark Thornley.
Mark Thornley lined up on the right side of the formation in the slot position. He comes down the offensive line for Logan, coming left, and he catches the pitch. The pitch was high. It almost looked like he fouled it just for a moment. He breaks off the left side of the offensive line, takes it upfield about the 30 line. Crosby had a clean shot at him, but again, it's open field tackling on a wet surface. Thornley knows where he's going to go. He cuts it up the middle of the field. Crosby's slipping and sliding, trying to figure out where that's going to go, and Thornley just makes the move on him and breaks it all the way down for the touchdown.
Isn't it ironic, Mark Thornley, how devastating he was running last week with the ball. And I was talking to Dan Cox about it yesterday. I was saying, I wonder if he'll even touch the ball this game if Johnson plays at quarterback. At the time he touches it, he goes 36 yards for the score. Now the point after by Morrison. Kind of a high snap, but the kick was placed well, and the kick's good. With 2:30 left in the third quarter, the Grizzlies have scored 14 in the quarter. They lead at 14-6 over Mountain Crest. We're back after this timeout.
I want a piece of pie and a donut too. Schaefer House Bakery.
Quality is our main ingredient at Schaefer House Bakery. Every item is baked with that homemade touch you just can't get anywhere else unless you baked it yourself. Taste the difference at Schaefer House Bakery. You'll be glad you did. Schaefer House Bakery, 1045 North Main, or inside Macy's.
Schaefer House Bakery, so good.
Big snow, come see what we've got. Our sporting goods, white sails. Big snow, come ski what we've got.
Al Sporting Goods will snow you with super reductions on the finest ski brands.
Get the Kaufman Sorel Caribou Boot or Columbia Bugaboo Coat. Your choice, just $99.99.
Our sporting goods, white sails. Big snow.
Cook right, Morrison to kick off here. Logan has now scored 2 unanswered scores here in the second half, one of them after an interception by Guerrero, and then that was a drive, and again aided by a weird little set of penalties. Again, when Mountain Crest didn't get what they wanted. There's an end-over-end kick. The rain's coming down harder, and Cook gets it at about the 10-yard line. Cook waiting for the wedge to form, and it does a pretty good job for him. He gets it out to about the 30 or so. And then Mark James made the tackle for Logan, along with Aaron Bracken. I'll tell you, Bracken's quite a special teams player for being a big guy. And at the 30-yard line, that was a 20-yard run back by Cook. And again, Mountain Crest starts with decent field position.
We do have an update from Smithfield. Olympus has added to their lead. They're leading Skyview now 28-0. Has 28 unanswered points. As Skyview got out early, 14-0, and now Olympus has really charged back and taken control of that game, it sounds like.
Now let's see if the Mustangs, who are ranked second, can respond here as they get behind in the third quarter. In motion comes the wide receiver, a rollout by Rudd. He throws the ball in the rollout, and it's incomplete. And he had to dump it because he had Rick Sam right in on him to take him out. He threw it for Roundy, and Roundy wasn't really quite ready to make the catch. Incomplete.
Play didn't quite develop as Mountain Crest wanted to. The receivers didn't get upfield at all. The play was rolling out to the right, and all the receivers were within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Really nowhere to go, as there was a number of Grizzlies in the area as well. Red did all he could do just to get rid of the football before he was sacked.
Okay, it'll be a second down and 10 play for the Stangs at their own 30. Again, Logan scored 14 unanswered here in this game, leading 14-6. Here's a pitch to Roundy. Had a big run first half. Roundy does a little cut, comes to the outside, and he's got a Mountain Crest first down. Right in front of the bench, there's a little bit of a scuffle right now. The tackle made by McLeod and Thornley. They mark it up, though, to the 46-yard line, so that's a nice 16-yard run by Roundy. You can tell if he gets a little bit of a crease like Mike Anderson, he can go.
That was just good outside blocking by the receivers on that side, and also the lead block as it sealed off the inside-out pursuit and also sealed off Sedgwick, the cornerback for the Grizzlies, trying to get out there to make the play, and it was enabled Roundy to get the first down.
Cook and Roundy, the running backs. Left and right, wide receivers. Jones to this side. Here's Rudd running a little counter, and Roundy behind the line of scrimmage is stacked by Rick Sampson. They tried to run a little quick pitch to the right, and Sampson makes the tackle for the loss back at the 40-yard line or thereabouts. Yep, they're going to mark it right on the 40. It's a 6-yard loss for Roundy.
Again, the same type of a play going to the right. Dan Cox likes to do that. He likes to go to the same type of play or the same part of the field when on the previous play had worked, and that time Sampson read that all the way and tackled Roundy for the big loss.
Now they have a slot receiver over on the far side. That is David Randall. Here's Rudd. Back, runs a draw play. Oh, and his running back fell down. And he barely scrambled and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. I think it was Cook who got the handoff. Logan's Bracken was there to stop him, and Cook is stopped. They're going to say a yard loss back to the 39-yard line. So 1 yard loss for Cook. It'll be a third down play for Mountain Crest. They need now to go about, 17 yards. With 18 seconds left in the quarter. If it's a running play, this will be the last play, or if it's a pass completion. Now they really break the formation. Only one running back. They flex out the tight end. They go to the double wing. And here's Rudd, little pressure, they pick it up, Rudd steps up in the pocket, throws sidelines, and it's not caught. It's incomplete. He caught it, but the official, I think, is saying he's out of bounds. Yep. And that's the end of the third quarter. So the score at the end of 3 quarters is 14-6. Logan leading Mountain Crest. We go to the fourth quarter at Hiram in the rain after this timeout.
Don't be a dummy. For minor automotive repair on your truck, car, boat, or farm equipment, bring it to Jensen's. Jensen's offers free electrical testing and fast, high-quality service. Jensen's on Airport Road.
I should have gone to Jensen.
Jensen Alternator, we serve you the best.
Here, but there is still a quarter to go. And now Dan Cox is trying to some way get his offense on track. The Mountain Crest Mustangs have the football on a fourth down coming up. Their punter is Rudd. Rudd is still in the game. Again, they could decide to do something if they wanted to, or they may say, hey, our defense has been good. Let's let our defense do the job. What's the update now from Smithfield?
Olympus really out in front of Skyview now, 34-14. Remember, Rudd here on this punt is a quarterback, so I don't know if he'll go for anything now, but you never know with Dan Cox.
It's 4th and 17. Back deep is Thornley, the dangerous one, who we saw just score a moment ago on a flanker reverse. High snap to Rudd, steps up, kicks it away. High kick, Thornley waits for it, now he calls fair catch, and then has to dive to make the catch at the 34-yard line. They'll mark it at the 33. So that's 28-yard punt by Rudd is all. So really, Logan got pretty good field position out of that.
And we do have an update. The Chicago White Sox, is it still 6-1?
Yeah, still 6-1.
Late in the 8th inning.
So again, the White Sox looking to get back into the American League Series. They'll play again tomorrow night.
Playing at Toronto as well. That's not an easy thing to do.
And they started against a guy who'd won 19 games, Pat Hetkin, but they have that Wilson Alvarez has been great going down the stretch. Logan has only one running back on this first down play. Leading 14-6, the Grizzlies are. Guerrero in motion. Hand it off to Anderson, left-hand side, gets some blocking, goes down the field, sideline, and he's upended near midfield. Another nice run by the sophomore. Remember, sophomore Mike Anderson. As a freshman, he had a 7-touchdown game against Ogden. One of the Cooks, it was Boyd Cook, was over complaining that he was being held onto that play. They're going to mark it to the Mountain Crest 49-yard line. So that's a run of 18 yards. He's had 2 18-yard runs.
You're speaking of sophomores. Johnson, the quarterback, who's done a pretty good job tonight here for Logan, in leading this offense in these weather conditions is a sophomore. So you've got a couple sophomore starters out there doing the job tonight for Logan.
Right now you can tell Logan doesn't want to have to pass the ball if they don't have to. 11:24 left on the clock. They have a first down at the Mountain Crest 49. Here's Johnson. He runs into Guerrero, then hands it, and Tony pounds it to the 46 of the Stangs. It was Webb who came up and made the tackle. That's a 3-yard run by Guerrero to the Mustang 46.
Mountain Crest bringing everybody up right to the line of scrimmage, knowing Logan doesn't want to throw the football. They know that they're going to have to stop anything that Logan throws at them, whether it's right up the middle with Guerrero or to the outside with Anderson. They're trying to fly around. They always have a lot of kids around the football when the tackle's made, and they're going to have to do something defensively to try to get their offense back on the field. 10:44 to go and the clock running in the fourth quarter. Logan leading 14-6.
Your Valley Recycling leader, Valley Metals, one of our club sponsors. Mountain Crest encroaches. The time Schaefer jumped a little early, and it's going to give Logan a second down and short with that one. I tell you, that's really hard and disciplined for a line to stand in there when you got a big 220-pound guy coming across. But they really didn't touch anybody, Schaefer with his rush, and they're going to now mark it down to about the 41-yard line of Mountain Crest. So Brian Schaefer, a senior, 225, is in there playing on the defensive line. He's a starter at center.
Now he's coming out of the game trying to explain why he jumped off sides to the quarterback run. It's never an easy thing to do, you know, when you line up right over the football and you still jump off sides to try to explain why you did it.
The Mountain West Finest Accommodations, Best Western Weston Inn, one of our sponsors, and we also thank Miller's Northern Utah Glass, your glass specialist for home commercial needs. Miller's Northern Utah Glass. Second down and a yard for Logan at the 41-yard line. Long count by Johnson. Then he hands it off to Guerrero, who almost fumbled the ball. He keeps his speed. He runs into the secondary. Breaks off a tackle. An amazing run by Tony. He takes it inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. First off, when he got the handoff and went through the line, the ball was on the hip. Second off, he stumbled going into the secondary. Then he got blasted, and all of a sudden he bounces off of it and goes to the 18-yard line.
Well, Crosby had come up from the defensive back position to make the stop. He was back at safety. He came up to make the stop, and as he wrapped Guerrero up, one of his own linebackers, I think it was Cook, came across and knocked him right off of Guerrero, and Guerrero was able to get about 10 more yards out of that.
That's a 28-yard run by Tony Guerrero with 9:37 to play, and the Grizzlies are running on the Mustangs, and they're to the 18-yard line of the Stangs, and then a fumble, and Jared Johnson almost lost that one. He tried to pull away. He was going to run the pitch play to Mike Anderson, and he and Ryan Ming did not connect on the center. Johnson pulling away, trying to make the quick pitch, and he was fortunate that he held onto the ball as he was being smeared by Painter and the other tackle, and they mark it at the 21-yard line, so it's a loss of 3.
Just to update on the running stats, 13 carries for Anderson, 103 yards. Guerrero has 7 carries for 52 yards so far tonight.
That's Tony's biggest game of the season. Ball now at the 21 on second down. About 13, at 21. Here comes Ryan Thompson in motion. Stops behind the backfield on the right side. Little fake handoff. Play action. Johnson throws wide open. Mike Anderson, 5-yard line. He's down near the end zone. Did he score? The official says no. He's right on the goal line. So the play action. Logan runs and runs and runs, and then the play action, and Priest saved the touchdown, but the ball is at the 1/2-yard line.
That play was
20-yard pass play.
Excuse me, Al. That play that was designed for this Mountain Crest type of a high-powered, quick defense. As the play action went into Anderson, everybody froze at the line of scrimmage. Anderson just kept running because nobody hit him. He went right past Priest into the secondary. The ball underthrown. Otherwise, that's a touchdown. Anderson down, and the knee hits the ground as the ball's on the 1-yard line.
Now the ball at the 1. The Mountain Crest defense, they've been great at shooting gaps this year. Now they really have to dig in. In fact, their cornerbacks come and talk to the guys right inside. Now the big sophomore, Jared Johnson, gets him to the line. At the 1. The snap, he fumbled it. He picks it up. He runs out to the left side, and he's going to score! A broken play for a touchdown. That was not what was designed. Johnson fumbled it, picked it up, and runs 1 yard for the touchdown.
Johnson looked like he wanted to throw, actually, as he picked the ball up. He didn't really want to run in for that touchdown. He realized there's no Mustang out there. All of Mountain Crest defensive players are right on the football. As that ball was fumbled, it froze everybody again at the line of scrimmage, and everybody wondered what happened to the football. Johnson picks it up. A fortunate bounce for him as he picks it up. and just has the presence of mind to get to the outside where there's no Mustang, and he's in for the touchdown.
Done to hold. Good snap. Kick by Morrison is good again. 7:59 to play, and we have another timeout after another Logan score. Surprising. Logan 21, Mountain Crest 6.
For all of your Alpine car stereo and audio-video needs, see Lynn's, 1655 North Main in Logan. Fly Delta to the West Coast now for only $59 each way for a limited time with Morris Travel. At Morris, you can book your flight with only 14 days advance notice to Los Angeles, Ontario, Orange County, Oakland, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, San Diego, Boise, Sacramento, Spokane, and San Jose. Call our office today. Morris Travel in Logan.
These things start to happen. All right, quickly before the kickoff, Mike, give us a score from Smithfield.
It's now 41-14, Olympus over Skyview.
And here at the 7-yard line, Greg Cook takes this kickoff from Morris and angles to the right side and gets decapitated. Guess who made the tackle? Aaron Bracken. And he got him at about the 23, 22-yard line. They're going to mark it on the 22. That run back is 15 yards by Cook. I think the Grizzlies are a little aroused.
Oh, he's like a cannonball out there, shot right out of a cannon as he runs down the middle of the field. Again, Bracken, kind of a little fire plug as he runs down the field. He's pretty fast because he's the first one down there. He takes on 2 or 3 blockers and still makes the big hit.
Well, we're going to see Rudd probably start to throw the ball a little bit here. 7:54 to go. I mean, you know, the Mustangs are only a couple of touchdowns from getting back in the game, though. Certainly not out of their hands. Here's a rollout left by Rudd. Throws the ball downfield, wide open. It's caught by Baldwin, tackled by Saunders. First down to the 41-yard line, so right out of the bat, the Mustangs get their second pass completion of the night, both of them to Baldwin, and that's 19 yards.
Well, Mount Crest offense can put the points on the board. You know, the clock's going to run with 7:40 here to go in the fourth quarter, but Rudd gets out there, no pressure really from Logan defensively, and he sets up and makes a good throw.
Now the Mustangs go to a slot right. Here's Rudd rolling to the right. Now he throws quickly and low, and Jones couldn't come up with that ball. Again, when you throw sidearm like that, like Rudd does, and then the ball starts to sail, it'll really go down in a hurry. It's kind of like a sinker ball pitcher. Remember Kent Colby, the old reliever in baseball? You used to throw it way out there, that sidearm, Quisenberry, and I mean, that ball just goes right down.
Well, the receiver was open on the play. Logan's defensive backs backing off maybe a little bit too much. They don't want to give up the big play, but then again, you don't want to give up 20-yard plays either.
2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line. 21-6, Logan. Back to pass is Rudd in the straight drop down the middle for Stiles, incomplete. He had James on the coverage. He had Thornley coming over to kind of help out. It'll be 3rd and 10 Mustangs at their own 41.
Stiles gets upfield pretty quick for a tight end. He didn't really sustain a block at the line of scrimmage. He runs just what they call a streak pattern straight down the field. Thornley was coming over for the interception. If Stiles doesn't tip that ball, I think Thornley has an interception on the play. But Stiles was open. He beat the defender by 2 or 3 yards.
Randall brings in the play. Jones goes out. So Randall and Baldwin come to this side of the field. The tight end is Stiles on the right. Split backs behind Matt Rudd. 3rd down. Maybe time for a draw play again. Here's Rudd rolling out left. Nope. He's going to try to throw if he can. He's blitzed and sacked by Jason McLeod, the Logan linebacker. And Rudd probably saw him coming the whole way, but he couldn't get rid of the ball. It'll be 4th down for the Mustangs. Probably they're going to have to go for it here. Dan Cox, in fact, looks like he's sending in a wide receiver, so I'd imagine they will. That was a sack back to the 7, a 4-yard loss. 4th and 14 yards. They'll go with 6:54 to play. And now we have a timeout called by Logan, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Logan confused defensively. They're going to call a timeout.
So let's see. I'm going to keep it here with 6:53 to go. Again, it's been all Logan's second half. They came right out, and after the interception by Guerrero, Anderson scored on the very first offensive play. And then since then, Logan has sustained the drive. 73 yards on 10 plays. And then they got the Thornley run of 36. And then the last time they had the ball, it was 6 plays and 67 yards, and Johnson got the 1 yard on the quarterback sneak that wasn't supposed to be like it turned out to be, but actually a quarterback rollout for the touchdown. And so those are the 3 scores for Logan in the second half. You know, Logan, other than last week against Lehigh, has been a second-half ball club all year.
They have. Last week against Lehigh, their defense really kind of fell apart. Their offensive line didn't really do the job, and we mentioned at the beginning of this ball game that the key to Logan's success would be their offensive line, how well they could sustain the run, because Mountain Crest's run defense is giving up only 85 yards a game, so their run defense is very strong, and they just have struggled a little bit with Logan tonight.
They go on 4th down and 14 from their own 37. They split out everybody, and Logan encroached. Yep, now they're finally going to call it. Aaron Bracken teetering there on the line, put his helmet in, and that's a 5-yard penalty on Logan, so they will now have the ball at the 42. Instead of being 4th down and 13, it's 4th and 9, which opens up a little shorter passing play that can get you the first down.
Well, those types of penalties have hurt Logan tonight. We've seen that about 4 times now. That really makes things different for Stu Howell's defense.
Berglund comes into the game. And I didn't really see anybody go out. Okay, 4th and 9 Mustangs. They split the tight end Styles out to the left. They have Roundy come out of the backfield to this side. And here is the quarterback, Rudd, throwing down the field, and it's incomplete. Roundy thought he had the ball or thought he got hit before he had a chance to make the catch. He's complaining to the official, but it's incomplete, and Logan will get the ball on downs with 6:47 to go.
Now Logan's running game will try to eat more of this clock as the fans starting to leave a little bit the stadium. You know, Mountain Crest's not out of this ball game. Their defense comes up with a turnover. Anything can happen in the rain and the wet. The defense is going to have to play tough, and they have to get their offense back onto the field. Roundy looks like he did have a shot at that last ball and collided with one of the Logan defensive backs. Just as the ball arrived, he was complaining to the official maybe that Logan had come there just a little bit too quick. The official didn't throw the flag, and Logan gets the ball on down.
I'll tell you, on that middle touchdown where Logan got the 14, where that's still a key play where Mountain Crest wanted to take the penalty, and they wouldn't let him take the penalty. I still don't understand how the officials could say that's a decline. And, I mean, I just don't understand it. Slot to the right. Here's Johnson handing off to Anderson, and Anderson stood up very well by the line. Webb was one of the people, but underneath, yeah, there's Tyler Olson getting up for Mountain Crest. And the run, actually no gain. Ball still at the 42-yard line. We're brought to you tonight by Performance Tire, corner of 3rd North and Main and Logan. Some great service specials at Performance Tire, along with great tire needs for you. One of our club sponsors. Rocky Mountain Cellular. The cellular phone in a bag has worked so far.
It's worked very well. We've had people bumping into it, too, as we're kind of crowded here in the stands, but it's really done the job tonight.
I'll tell you, as wet as it is, cellular phone's done a job. Peacock is running out of the game. They had an extra lineman in. 2nd down and 10 play, long count for Johnson. He hands it off to Malik. He spun around, and Arash is still trying to spin around and get in there. It'll be 3rd down and still 10 yards to go. Malik did not gain anything.
As Johnson heads right over to Perry Christensen after that play. He's not even in the huddle. Perry's giving him the play directly, it looks like. Logan may call timeout if they don't hurry. They're sure taking a long time to get this play in.
5:33 to go. Yeah, they're not going to get this play off. Malik comes out. Anderson went in. Johnson's now looking back at the back judge.
Back judge not indicating yet that there is the time is coming up. Let's see what he...
I think they're pointing back. There's some headlights that are on just back there at the south end on a car that somebody maybe has complained about. I can't believe they haven't called delay of game yet. How in the world can you have this has got to be way longer than 25 seconds. Here's a fake pitch. Johnson's play is covered, and he's sacked by Painter. Big play for Mountain Crest there. Painter makes the big sack when they need it, right back there in that muddy part of the field at the 47-yard line, and now Dan Cox calls a timeout. Again, we only have one more commercial break we need to get in during the game, so we'll keep it here. They're going to mark that sack back to the 49-yard line, so that ends up being a 9-yard sack. It'll be 4th down, and Logan will try to punt the ball probably here.
Mountain Crest will definitely come with their rush. They're not going to try to set up a return, I don't think. I think they're going to try to get a block here. Again, about a minute came off the clock at least because Logan was off to the sideline talking. the clock was running. They come up. I kept expecting the official to indicate that there was going to be a delay of game, and Logan still took a two or three count at the line of scrimmage. And I think there was about 6 minutes to go when that last play ended.
And I think what happened, Mike, there was that none of the officials, we do have a 5-man crew this week. Remember, we went to a 4-man crew last week. 5-man crew, I don't think anybody was counting.
Just not aware the on the field clock.
Okay, back is Cook. Everybody else for Mountain Crest is up at the line. They got to go after it and make a punt block here. Dunn has had trouble tonight. He's had one snap go through his hands. This one he cradles into his and he kicks it off the side of his foot. It's not deep at all, and it takes a Mountain Crest side bounce, and it's finally down by Logan at the 4-yard line. Again, it's tough to tell where the ball is, but I think it's the 34-yard line. So Dunn's punt is only 17 yards.
He's really having a hard time as the ball comes to him, really controlling the ball, and that time he just drops it off the side of his foot. Now Mountain Crest right up to the line of scrimmage for their first play.
They need 2 scores. They trail 21-6. Undefeated, ranked second in the state. Number 3, Olympus, is running over Skyview tonight now. Here's Rudd, back to pass, in the pocket, throws over to the side, and Jones makes the catch. Right over his back to make the tackle, Sedgwick, but it's a first down for Mountain Crest. They're going to mark the ball at the 50. At the 45-yard line is where they're going to mark it. That's an 11-yard pass play and a first down for Rudd. So Rudd throws for the first down out to the 45, and immediately they're up to the line to go again. 4:29 to play. Clock running. Rudd under center, Schaefer. Again, the straight drop back, stays in the pocket, throws it long down the middle for Stiles. A one-hand catch try, incomplete. He had the Logan linebacker, James, beat by a step and a half, and Thornley was slow to range over and help out.
Stiles gets upfield very quickly, just takes off straight up the field, and the ball just slightly overthrown as the pressure came up the middle on Rudd, and Rudd really was decked after he threw the ball, but it was a pretty good ball just out of the reach of Stiles.
Ball at the 45. Mountain Crest with second down, 10. Clock down to 4:18, stopped after the incompletion. A slot to the left side. Now Cook comes out of the backfield in motion. They got 3 receivers over here. And here's Rudd throwing, and it's caught by Priest. A diving catch by Priest at the Logan 41-yard line. Now the Mustangs continue to move it. That's good for 14 yards and a first down. So a 14-yard to Priest. 4:10 to play. Another first down for the Stangs. Ball on the short side part of the field. Got Baldwin out to the left side, and I think Jones to the right. Here's Rudd in the pocket. Again, pumps. Oh, and he's belted by Aaron Bracken for a sack. He pumped and had to pull it down. And then Bracken sacked him along with Peacock, and now the Mustangs are going to use a timeout. We're down to 3:53 to go. Let's take a timeout right here. The score is 21-6. We're back in 30 seconds.
Get dummy. For minor automotive repair on your truck, car, boat, or farm equipment, bring it to Jensen's. Jensen's offers free electrical testing and fast, high-quality service. Jensen's on Airport Road.
I should have gone to Jensen's.
Jensen Alternator, we serve you the best.
Well, Mountain Crest has to use a timeout. I know Dan used one a while back, so I think he's maybe got one more left. Dan Cox off the field. Again, they've had to go to the passing game now. What's Rudd's passing stats on the night? It looks like he's completed 4 out of 18 for how many yards? 56? 56 yards.
And he has an interception.
1 interception. And again, that was Guerrero that set up Logan's first score of the game.
Yep.
Here in the second half. They've scored all 21 in the second half. 3:53 to go, 21-6. Logan with the lead. Mountain Crest at the Logan 45. They run a draw play. Here comes Ryan Ross. Logan trying to defend the draw, and they had trouble last week, and Ross runs over the Grizzlies inside the 10-yard line. Boy, how bad can the draw play kill you? Ryan Ross takes it all the way to about the 10-yard line. So it's a 35-yard run. First down, Mountain Crest. Again, they're only two scores away.
There's plenty of time to go if their offense can score without using a lot of time off the clock. 3:46 to go.
They're trying to get a dry ball onto the field, and that's what's taking the time here. Now the clock starts. Mountain Crest can get a first down, so it's just outside the 10-yard line where they mark it. Now in motion comes Jones, and he almost stumbled on the slip turf. There's a pump fake by Rudd, then he throws end zone over the head of Priest, incomplete. And Bracken again had some rush on, and trying to keep him away was Adam Buse. So Ross runs it down to the 10-yard line, and now Mountain Crest will have a 2nd and 10 to go, just outside the 10. Clock still at 3:33. A lot of time still to play.
And not a lot of time will come off the clock if they're throwing all their balls into the end zone. If they fall incomplete, it's only maybe 7 seconds off the clock.
Here's Rudd rolling out to the right to buy some time. He looks, he throws downfield. Oh, way high, incomplete. Pass was intended for Baldwin. It was way over his head. 3rd down and 10 at the 10.
Mountain Crest doing a very good job of keeping Logan's defensive linemen, who are now very tired. As you see them walking back to the huddle, they've been chasing up and down this, on both sides from one sideline to the other, trying to chase Rudd, and their offensive line doing a good job of peeling back, keeping the backside pressure off, and allowing Rudd to step up and throw. That time it just sailed that ball on him.
Jones and Priest out to the right side. The tight end Stiles is on the left. Here's 3rd and 10 just outside the 10. Rudd again rolls back. Now he looks back left side for Stiles, and he throws it to Saunders for an interception at the goal line. And Craig's sunning down the sidelines, and he's tackled from behind. And the Grizzlies have dodged another bullet, a big one right here. Saunders took it from just outside the end zone, and he runs it back to about the 32-yard line. That is a 31-yard run back by Saunders after the interception.
Rudd, the play was designed to go to the right, then he was going to throw it back to the left side to a lone receiver. The receiver had cut down the middle of the field. Now Logan calls a timeout, but the receiver had cut down to the middle of the end zone. Saunders was playing for him to cut to the outside. I think that's where Rudd expected the receiver to go, was to the corner, and he didn't go there, and Saunders was by himself for the interception.
Wow. The last 2 years now, Grizzlies come into a game against Mountain Crest. Mountain Crest undefeated, highly ranked. Logan last year did it building up a halftime lead, got the 1 touchdown to start the second half, and again it was a late interception by Kidman last year that I remember that helped seal the victory. And then remember, Mountain Crest got the one last chance, and they threw a 4th down pass
and
tried to throw it to the tight end, and the wind caught it and held it up.
We've seen some wind tonight. That's affected the play somewhat in the first half. Right now it's pretty calm. The rain
rain
is still coming. It's rained ever since about 6:15, so this field is plenty wet. The ball's plenty wet. And both teams have fought hard, and Logan coming in, and this score holds up. That's an upset, definitely, and puts Logan really now in the driver's seat. They can control their own destiny as far as the region goes.
Perry Christensen's still on the field right now for Logan, and he's pointing, it looked like, towards the scoreboard. The scoreboard has 3:19 to play. I don't know if he feels like maybe that there should be more time off the clock or something like that. I'm sure he'd like to see 3:19 wiped out real fast right now, and he'd walk in the locker room. But now the officials are conferring again. Again, this officiating crew kind of ran into a little bit of a bad stretch there in the 3rd quarter, and everything went against Mountain Crest in that little stretch there. Again, it was only a 7-6 ball game when they wouldn't let Mountain Crest have a holding penalty they wanted to have. At the 32-yard line. Now here's Johnson pitching the ball to Anderson, and Webb makes a great play behind the line of scrimmage for the tackle for the loss. They mark it back at the 25-yard line, it looks like. So it's a loss of 7 on the play as they tried to run the pitch play to the left, and Webb did a nice job.
Well, Mountain Crest linebackers are really coming hard, Webb being one of them. Webb comes out, he plays safety, strong safety sometimes. Sometimes he plays on the outside linebacker, but he does a good job of shooting upfield. And Anderson, trying to get to the corner, just didn't get there with Webb's good open field tackle.
Now, finally, look, the back judge is finally counting, and Logan's not even to the line. We're going to get a delay call right here. That should have happened a long time ago. So, yard penalty, and it'll push it back even to the 20-yard line. Clock down to 2:36. Now, I believe this is one time in high school football that it won't start, and it should not, and it doesn't. So 2:36 to play.
Logan has to get to their 41-yard line for the first down. The ball on the 20.
Big O Tires, a reputation you can ride on. One of our game sponsors, Grizzly and Mustang football, and again, another Logan upset could be coming here. Here's a handoff inside, and here comes a Grizzly running back and breaking tackles. I think it's Guerrero, and they finally push him out of bounds. I got to wait and see if it's Guerrero. I think it was. Yeah, it was Tony Guerrero. And Guerrero's pushed out of bounds finally up at the 35-yard line. He gains 15 yards on that play. He's had a big night.
That gives Guerrero, let's see as we're getting the stats here, 67 yards on 8 carries so far.
He did run out of bounds, so the clock stopped. 2.5 minutes to go. 21-6 Logan. All 21 in the second half. Mountain Crest got one big play in the first half, and really they got the one big draw play here in the second half, and that's just about it. Again, Logan's defense continues to give up a big play once in a while. Now Logan sprints up to the line to try to avoid the delay call, and Johnson, he gets the play off quickly, pitches it to Anderson, misses the first tackle. There's a flag, though, on the play. Anderson breaks another tackle, turns the corner. He's going to score, but it's coming back because of a penalty on Logan for holding or clipping. So Anderson scores again, but he won't get credit for it.
That's too bad. That was a great run as he hurdled the Webb, I think it was again, who came strong from the left side. But they're going to have a holding or a clip on the lead block, probably Guerrero out on the lead block. And that play's going to come back as Anderson gets a workout on the long run.
Could even be a crackback or something block, and Anderson says he's a little tired after running 70 yards or so.
Well, he has so far tonight 96 yards on 15 carries.
Yeah, he was over 100 and then lost 7 on that one pitch play just a while back.
And hopefully he's not doing his hyperventilating. He's really tired, and he's getting some help off the field now. He has a hyperventilation problem as he gets excited and gets into the ball game. And after a long run like that, after he's physically tired, and it's been a grueling game for him, and hopefully he'll be okay.
That's a clipping call, but it happened far enough upfield that it's only a 10-yard penalty on Logan. So it'll still be third down, but now back to a third and about 17 with 2:15 to go. Our cellular broadcast again on Rocky Mount Cellular. Reminder that on Sunday on KVNU we have the Broncos as they play the Packers in the night game on Sunday, and our coverage starts at 4:30 with Larry Zimmer, Dave Logan, and what's the other guy's name? Smiley, who handles all their scores. Tim Smiley, I think is his name.
I don't think you'd see. I
think Logan will throw the ball.
You won't see a pass again. Perry taking a long time.
We're going to get another
getting this
delay.
Play in.
Well, they've taken way too long to get these plays in for sure. There goes the 5-second count. They're not even out of the huddle again.
Boy, another big delay again. That's going to push the ball all the way back to the 15.
So now it'll go back to the 15-yard line. So another 5-yard delay.
I don't know why that would take Perry so long to get the ball in. He had a long run. They knew the thing was going to get called back, and it just takes a long time for the play to get sent in. They're shuffling 2 or 3 guys in and out. Perry did say that they had special situations where they would substitute a lot of players in, and they're just taking way too long.
Okay, slot to the left side. And Jared Johnson, the sophomore, who's done a great job at quarterback, rolls back, flares one out, and it's incomplete. Tried to hit Guerrero with the pass, and it's incomplete, and he's tackled over there by David Webb.
Mountain Crest going to get...
It was Thornley. I'm sorry. It was Thornley they tried to flare it to. It'll be 4th down now.
Mountain Crest going to get great field position after all these penalties from the Grizzlies, pinning them way back on about the 15-yard line. Now they're going to have to punt.
And Logan's only had really only about a minute and 18 seconds run off the clock. They had it at about 3.5. Because of the penalties and the run by Guerrero that went out of bounds, and now an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
Done to punt out of the end zone or right down close to it. And again, they should get good field position. Dunn fumbled the ball. He's hit and tackled. And it is, I think he's tackled at about the 1-yard line, so Mountain Crest will be close, and then they can onside kick, and they only need 2 scores. So Mountain Crest will now have the ball at the 1-yard line as Dunn fumbled another. Center snap looked like hit him right in the hands. That's a 14-yard loss.
Well, he's bobbled every snap tonight that we've seen. Even when it hits him in the hands or in the belly, he's bobbled it and taken his time. That time, the ball got away from him, and he almost should have stepped back and taken the safety.
It might have been better. All right, here's Rudd at the line of scrimmage. Rudd turns, hands it off to Roundy, and Roundy's got the touchdown on the right side. So the Grizzlies, with the delays and all the penalties, handed that touchdown to Mountain Crest, and there's still time. 1:51. Roundy with his 2nd score of the night.
Now Mountain Crest is going to have to get the extra point here, at least one.
Let's see what they decide to
not
do.
Two.
Dan
Cox going to call
is-
timeout.
Dan's going to use his last timeout right here for the two-point play. He feels that that's more important than saving the timeout for if they get the ball back again. So they're going to try to design the two-point play to make it a 21-14 game, so then another score would give them a chance to either go for the win or at least get the tie and go into overtime.
And again, it's a key penalty that hurts the Grizzlies when Anderson goes all the way for a touchdown, and they call a clipping penalty that play. It brings that back, and then Logan has another delay of game, pins the punter back done. He bobbles the ball, gives Mountain Crest the football inside the 5, and they score on the first play. So again, it's a penalty that hurts the Grizzlies, where we saw penalties hurt the Mustangs earlier.
I think you make a good point now about the safety instead of giving them the 6. You would have been a lot smarter to, when you fumbled it, run into the end zone, run through the end zone, and make it 21-8 and punt the ball from the 20-yard line or kick it off to them and let them have to drive.
Yeah, they still have to score.
And then they still have to score again.
Yep.
Now Mountain Crest wants it back in the middle of the field. They had it first over on the right hash.
Again, in that kind of situation, you're panicking and you don't think those things through probably.
Okay, Rudd under center. In motion comes Randall. Here's Rudd pitching the ball to Roundy. They can pass. Roundy throws it to the end zone, and it's caught by Stiles for a two-point play. Guess what? It's 21-14 and still a minute and 51 to go, and the Mustangs can now try for 2.
They're going to go for the onside kick, no doubt, on this.
I meant try to go for the onside kick. They already got the 2.
They're going to go for the onside kick. Logan's going to have to be prepared for that. Boy, this field's slippery. The ball's slippery. It's going to go and then probably in and out of about 3 or 4 players' hands before somebody comes up with it. Logan's going to come up and bring all their people up to the line to try to stop the kick. And Mountain Crest going to try to punch the ball out towards the sidelines, try to get the ball to bounce in the air, and hopefully one of their receivers or one of their kickoff teams can get up the field and get the ball before a Logan player does.
They do have 2 or 3 number 70s in there, Mountain Crest does, but the rest of the people are special teams performers. And for Logan, they're sending out Ryan Mang is one who's out there. He has returned 1 kickoff this year. Most of the others are defensive backs or running backs or whatever.
Here comes the onside kick to this near side towards the Mountain Crest bench.
Now Logan needs to keep outside of the 10-yard area as well.
They're lined up over the line. They need to get back.
And the official, I think, will tell them they have to move back. He does right now. Schroeder's got it lined up where he looks like he's going to kick it towards this side of the field, the west sideline for the onside kick. Still a minute and 51 to go. Here's the kick by Schroeder. It did not go 10 yards.
Didn't go 10 yards, went out of bounds. Logan should get the ball there.
They can have it at the 45 of Mountain Crest, or they can take the ball at the... I think if you kick it out of bounds in high school football, you can take it at the 40, but then you can take it out of bounds if there's a better spot where it went out of bounds, and I'm sure Logan will take it at the 45 of Mountain Crest. And now Dan Cox is really upset.
I don't know what he's upset about. I don't know what he'd be complaining about unless he's saying that when Logan lined up off sides, the official came over and said, no, back up, guys. And maybe he's saying the official came up and saying you're lined up off sides, and that let Logan step back, and that's probably not be something that he's complaining about.
Also, you know, it looked like I thought I saw him say something about the 40. Maybe he feels like any kick that goes out of bounds should go to the 40-yard line. But now Logan's going to try to run some clock here. Mountain Crest doesn't have any timeouts left. They've used them all. Slot to the left side. Here's the quarterback pitching the ball to Anderson. He bobbled it. He picks it up. He smashed. He lost yardage, but he did keep the football. Didn't fumble it.
And he didn't get out of bounds. He was headed towards the sidelines. It was a good thing he was tackled where he was. His momentum might have carried him out of bounds to stop the clock.
I tell you, the pitch play is not exactly something safe with the ball. The field is wet as it is. That's a 3-yard loss back to the 48 for Anderson. So at one time he was over 100. Now he's losing. Now the clock down to 1:18 to go.
Mountain Crest out of timeouts. They used their last timeout on their 2-point conversion.
And even on change of possession in high school, if the ball's still, the clock's running, the clock runs. And now there's a delay penalty. Logan took too much time. I'll tell you, this is just killing Logan.
That's a quick 25 seconds, it seems like. Logan seemed to get the ball in pretty quick there. But the officials right on the ball, they set the ball and they start their count. Now with 1:07 and the clock stopped.
Now the clock stops and Logan cannot run it down. See, they needed to keep the clock running. Now it's 2nd and 20 or thereabouts. 2nd and 18 with 1:07 to play. Tell you, this has been a strange football game in the rain. Second half dominated by Logan. Now they've just given a touchdown back to Mountain Crest on some delays and then a bad punt snap, and Mountain Crest scored on a 1-yard run. And then Johnson fumbled the ball, but it's picked up by Mike Anderson, or Thornley. And Thornley brings it back to about the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, but the clock keeps running. How many times tonight have the bounces gone Logan's way?
Well, Johnson was hit right as he turned to make the handoff to Thornley, and the ball came out, and the ball bounced right up into Thornley's arms, and he just kept going forward. Now with 43 seconds and the clock running, it's 3rd and long. Logan just trying to get a play off here. The official again looking at his watch. You could see another delay of game, and that would just hurt the Grizzlies.
Because the clock had stopped. He's not yet. Now, there he goes, his 5-second count. They're up to the line, 28 seconds to play.
Gotta hurry.
Johnson, can he get the play off? Nope, he doesn't. The whistle, and he does not get the play off. So again, another 25-second count violation. Delay of game city is what it's called with here tonight, and it's back to the 42-yard line. So it's 3rd down and about 25 or so, but that's not important. 3rd and 23.
Can Logan just take a knee and the clock run out?
Yes. Well, although they will stop the clock. If it's only 3rd down, that's true.
3rd down.
It is
they
only
can
3rd
take
down.
a knee, and there's only 25 seconds.
All they have to do is snap the ball. I was thinking it was 4th down, but it's not. Now Johnson, as long as they don't fumble the exchange. He does not. He takes the knee, and the game's over. Mountain Crest won't be able to stop the clock, and the ball game will be over, and the Grizzlies have 2 straight upset wins over Mountain Crest. The clock will tick it down. The Logan people have been standing over on the far sideline this whole ball game, but it's over. Mountain Crest made it interesting at the end, and again, the Grizzlies made it interesting too with their delay of games and things, but the final score is 21-14, Logan over unbeaten Mountain Crest. And we'll start our post-game report and give you our Schaefer Sweet play of the game right after we take this timeout.
We all have an investment in our community. At Cache Valley Bank, we believe that our most valuable resource is you. You are the families, the individuals, the business owners, the employees, the friends that make our valley a great place to live.
Cache Valley Bank, our business is you.
For the past 5 years, Cache Valley Bank has helped provide more funds to local businesses than any other bank in Cache Valley. Business is growth. Business is jobs. Business is families. At Cache Valley Bank, our business is you.
Cache Valley Bank, our business is you.
Fly Delta to the West Coast now for only $59 each way for a limited time with Morris Travel. At Morris, you can book your flight with only 14 days advance notice to Los Angeles, Ontario, Orange County, Oakland, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, San Diego, Boise, Sacramento, Spokane, and San Jose. Call our office today. Morris Travel in Logan.
It's gotten so big. It's time to give it away.
Deseret Industries prepares 30 tons of donated clothes each day for shipments to relief organizations worldwide.
Africa, Eastern Europe, the Caribbean, South America.
Or can we sustain that level of contributions?
All the usable clothes we need are sitting surplus in people's closets.
Folks will contribute. They just need a reason.
Well, the Mountain Crest Mustangs are still on the field with their coach Dan Cox huddled at the center of the field. Once again, for the 2nd straight year, they have lost to Logan. And they lose to Logan here by a score of 21-14 after leading 6-0. In the first half, the was a 50-yard run by David Roundy. Again, Logan has the propensity of giving up big plays this year defensively, and that was really the only one they really gave up tonight that hurt them, although the run by Ross did set up Mountain Crest in a situation where they had that goal to go down about the 10-yard line, but they eventually had Saunders make it intercepted. And then later on, as Logan's trying to run out the clock, Grizzly punter Nate Dunn, who had adventures most of the night trying to punt. A lot of snaps went through his hands, or he fumbled them, he had them into his chest. He dropped it, and instead of getting into the end zone, he gets tackled at the 1-yard line. Mount Crest was able to score. They went for an onside kick there late, and it failed to get in. Let's go back again. The 50-yard run by Thornley was Roundy Make It was the first score of the game. That was in the first half. Mount Crest led 6-0 at the half. And then Tony Guerrero's interception and run back to the 15-yard line started Logan in the second half. And on the first play, Mike Anderson ran 15 yards for the score. Logan was on the board. The point after by Morrison with 10:10 left in the third quarter made it 7-6. Logan. And then after a punt by Mountain Crest, Logan started to drive. As I recall, got another couple of good runs in there from Mike Anderson. They were able to just continue to drive down the field, got it to the 36-yard line, and it was like a third down play, and about 3rd and 9, I think it was, from there. And Logan looked like they'd been running the pitch all night. They were looking like they were going to pitch it out to Anderson, sweep to the right, but Thornley, coming back from the flanker spot, caught the pitch and reversed it back to the left side, and we've decided that that's our Schaefer House Bakery sweet play of the game for the Valley Channel.
Well, the Grizzlies, you know, they showed a lot of poise. There's a hard-fought game, and again, there's a lot of plays that you can point to. You can point to Saunders' interception. How big is that? Because Mountain Crest was driving there.
That's the 10-yard line.
That's a huge play. There's just a lot of things you can point to that really turn this game around. That the penalty that Logan had against them, that the Mountain Crest coaches wanted the players to take, miscommunicated, and Mountain Crest declined it. And then with the clipping penalty, gives Logan the ball, and they drive down and score. So there's a lot of things you can point to, but it was a hard-fought game in these elements, and even have to hand it to this big crowd that was here tonight that stayed throughout.
Thornley ran the 36 yards, point after by Morrison, made it 14-6, and then after a short punt, Logan got another drive going, and remember, got a great run by Tony Guerrero. That was one of the nice runs of the night. And then a pass play, after Logan had been running the whole time, they run a play-action pass to Mike Anderson down to the 1-yard line. And then, looked like, I don't know if they were going to hand it off. I think they were. I think Johnson was going to hand it off, but the ball went loose. He picked it up and just strolled around left end untouched for what proves to be the winning touchdown in the game. That made it 21-6 at the time. And again, Mountain Crest is driving down at the 10-yard line on a 3rd and goal at the 10, or 3rd and 10 to go at the Saunders intercepted near the goal line and kept Mountain Crest away. And then after the fumble on the punt try after that, Mountain Crest tackled Dunn down at the 1-yard line. Roundy scored with 1:51 to go. They tried the onside kick. It didn't go the 5 yards. It went out of bounds. And Logan was able to run out the clock with Mountain Crest having no timeouts. And the final score is 21-14. The Grizzlies upset the Mustangs for the 2nd straight year, and Logan's now won 8 of the 11 games in this series. And again, the last 2 kind of really big upsets for sure, especially when Mountain Crest was 2nd ranked and undefeated. And now, if Logan can win out, they can win the region. Mountain Crest can still have a part of the region championship. They're not done yet because they only have Ogden to go. If they tie with Skyview, who has the only other team with 1 loss, if Skyview can then beat Logan next week, which is what Mountain Crest will be cheering for, then Mountain Crest would still take the #1 seed in because they beat Skyview during the season. That's what they're hoping for. Okay, I know the Valley Channel has battled the elements here tonight with their television crew and the guys up on the press box giving you the pictures. We hope you've enjoyed this telecast on the Valley Channel. It will be repeated, of course, throughout the weekend. And a lot of Logan fans will be watching it many times, and the Mountain Crest fans will probably erase the tape. And we want to thank them for joining us tonight. And for them...
Grizzlies, who are now 3-1 in Region 5 after knocking Mountain Crest from the ranks of the unbeaten for the 2nd year in a row.
The whole team put together a great effort, and no individual efforts, I felt. It was a team effort. That's why we got a victory.
It was special because they were coming in undefeated at 6-0, ranked 2nd in the state, and really playing well. And we got to go to their place and beat them on their home turf. And any time you can beat, not only a ranked team, but a cross-time rivalry at their place, it's a sweet victory.
And a special thanks to Dave Finkelson and Terry Fairman for that report. All right, if you want to run to the fridge here.